You can find that on that pip. Now, right here, I'm going to be at you in a minute. Right here, Facebook. I want y'all to share this to all those naysayers, all those that say we playing church, all those that keep running their mouth about Temple More, Temple More, Temple More. If you want the link, come on in. Hit me in my, let me know. Come in here. I want all you tough guys. I'm talking about intellectually tough guys. I want y'all to come on in and show me what you got. You know what I mean? If you think Taj teach Moorish science according to the Prophet Noble Ali, come on in. If you think you making tags in your garage is Moorish science, come on in. If you think that you are teaching the divine plan of the ages, come on in. I don't think you're going to come on in. I'm telling you, I will let you on the show. I sent it out. I sent the link out to quite a few people that was running their mouth. I sent the link out to quite a few people that was trying to act like they know Moorish science. Guess what? I don't see none as of yet that they came in on the show. So I might have to do the show by myself, because that's what true Moors do. We stand up in the defense of the gospel. Now check this out. First of all, family, let me calm down just a little bit. Let me see what had happened was, I got you over here, Facebook. I got confused. I got you over here, YouTube. Give me 1 second. Let me talk to my people on Facebook. What had happened was this. What had happened was, people have took the prophet's teaching. Prophet Noble Drew Ali came with a solution for our problem called the Negro problem. The Negro problem is that problem that makes you don't want to unite with your brother or your sister. It's the thing that makes you don't trust your brother, don't want to put your money with your brother. It's the thing that makes you go look for a job instead of creating a job. See, this is the Negro problem. Also, the Negro problem is the problem when you see an opportunity to take advantage of somebody, you take advantage of them. So the prophet said, we are dealing with this Negro problem. And now this Negro problem has compelled people to misuse and abuse the Prophet's Noble Drew Ali teachings. What am I talking about? Prophet Noble Drew Ali said, I am teaching my members the things necessary to become better citizens. Meaning he is trying to teach the things to make you a better person, to make you understand your civic duty, and to turn this whole madness around and bring it to your favor. Bring it in your favor. This is the Prophet Noble Ali taught. He said, I want to teach you to learn to love instead of hate. Man, you little naysayers, you call this church all you want, but walk up on me, see if I'm a turn the other cheek. That's right, I said it. We don't get down like that. Now, anyway, he teaches you the thing to learn to love instead of hate. Now, if you hate yourself, you're going to go ahead and do stupid stuff to put you in a position to be incarcerated, to be abused, and to be misused. If you don't love yourself, then you're going to do these stupid things. I'm telling you, the Prophet Noble Drew Ali never intended for us to be combative with the system. The Prophet Noble Drew Ali intended us to take the system, bend it to our will, and make things happen. Let me say it one more time. The Prophet Noble Drew Ali, he intended for us to take the system, bend it to our will, and make our heaven here on earth. That's the Prophet Noble Drew Ali way. Whatever you were taught is wrong. And I'm exposing you. Taj Tariq exposed. You don't teach Moorish science. You don't teach Moorish science. Man, I don't care if you're 70 or 170. When you abuse the Prophet's teachings and mislead people, all bets is off. All bets is off. You know what I mean? Sabir Bey, you good with all them books you sit beside you and all that, but you do not. And I repeat, Sabir Bey, you do not teach Moorish science according to the Prophet Noble Drew Ali. I don't care how many books you stack up. A god doggone mule can pack books on his back. That don't mean he know what's in them. Keep on walking around with these B's and L's on y'all name and misrepresenting and misleading the people. Ain't nobody going for it no more. The day is over. It's over when y'all can run around. Cannon Bay, you don't teach Prophet Noble Drew Ali Moorish science. Those days is over. Prophet Noble Drew Ali would have nothing to do with this madness. Nothing to do with this madness. So we're going to start this show on Facebook. And I'm going to expose and I'm going to show y'all who's who. I'm going to show y'all who's who. I'm going to show you how that I'm going to show you how they are not teaching Prophet Noble Drew Ali's Moorish science. I'm going to show and prove. I'm just not talking. I'm going to show you how. You know what I'm saying? Now remember that this is an hour show, maybe an hour and a half. So I'm going to have to go fast through it. But now listen, DJ Jones Bay, I got you, brother. This is an hour and a half show. So I'm going to have to go fast through it. I want some other brothers come on. I'm going to give them a chance to come on. And when they come on, then we're going to dialogue. I want the opposition to come on. That's what I want. I would love Cujo to come on. I would love Taj to come on. I would love Sabir to come on. They ain't going to come on because they know. They know they don't teach Prophet Noble Drew Ali Moorish science. They come on here, the check is gone. They will never get paid again. Ain't nobody buying that fictitious, bogus ID you sell online. That stuff is gone. If they come on here and y'all can get mad, you little funny tendency type of guys that's so in love with another man, you can get mad. I don't care. I don't care. I'm in love with the truth while you in love with a man. How you feel? How you feel defending a man? How you feel defending a man? Ready to fight me over a man. I ain't even say nothing to you. Ready to fight me over a man. You a homosexual? Huh? That's right, I said it. I'm asking a question. I mean, I'm asking a question because the moment that you want to fight me over another man, you got to be gay. You got to be gay. I'm talking to all of y'all that stand in the defense of Taj like you's a homosexual or something. Fight me over another man. Fight me over you. And get dealt with. And get dealt with. Y'all want to fight me over another man. Are you serious? Are you serious? Huh? I could see if it was a female. Why are you coming at Taj like that? Don't come at Taji. But a dude want to fight me over a man? And I ain't even say nothing about Taj personally. I only said that Taj does not teach Moorish science according to the Prophet Noble Drew Ali. And I said that I will prove it. If anybody want to go toe-to-toe with me, I will prove it. That's what I said. And so nobody stood up. Nobody said nothing. The only thing that they did was start crying. Oh, man, you coming that time. Respect the elder. The elder do not respect the holy and divine teachings of Prophet Noble Drew Ali. Then you gonna tell me respect the elder? You can't be serious. You can't be serious. Y'all will tell me respect the elder, but the elder, he's telling you that you get a right to travel. The elder telling you that a free national name is Katab Abib El Bey. And that's not a free national name. The elder telling you that the prophet said, study, study, study. And then he started talking about the Constitution. The prophet never said that. Now, I can put out every lie he said. Oh, yeah, I work for my people. I done dug through everything. I done looked through everything. And that's how I can stand on mine and say that he does not teach the teachings as taught by Prophet Noble Drew Ali. I can stand on mine. And you can bring anybody that think they can stand on that. Go back. I don't care if you're mad. Put up the tear emoji. Go ahead, cry. Oh, we need unity. Well, guess what? The truth unifies. I ain't unifying with a lie. How about that? I'm not unifying with a lie. You can unify with a lie all you want, but I'm not. I'm unifying with the truth. All right? And with that, now let's get this show started. I'm coming, Facebook. I'm coming. I'm coming, YouTube. I'm coming, YouTube. I'm coming back. Come on, back. Let's turn up. Let's go. Let's go. Here we go. I'll be that one you won't remember. I'm going to be that one you won't remember. That's right. I'll be that one you won't remember. So all the things to the long number. I'll be that one you won't remember. I'm gonna be that one you won't remember. That's all you won't remember. So I got it to the long. But you a friend of more than you a friend of mine. I was told about my enemy, now hold my line. Don't speak against the prophet, they speak against me. And I'm speaking about the prophet, who I be. Who was the first to remind you and bind you back to a rock on the mountain, Mississippi, and Quebec. Told you was a fact, proved you was straight back. You tripping on trash. when I'm back. And here we go again, acting like you a slave. The same people talk European how to bathe. And looking at women buying European hair. No love for self, but do the men really care? Hell no, cause they got a love for Europe. Whole generation takes a pill, weed and syrup. Yeah, they love no nothing. Gucci, Kodak, Amigo, Ross, Lucid. But when I'm not for the woman, look like your mother. I guess they say it's all back when it's under the summer. Now fight. I be that boy you call me mother. I'ma be that boy you call me mother. That's right. I be that boy you call me mother. So I can make front ride till the law call my number. I be that boy you call me mother. Now we going to tonight. That boy you call me mother. Oh, you know you call me mother. Let's go. On the super scholars house. This arrow for the workers. You ain't building on the ground, then you working than a twerker. You look and sound good, but that's only on the surface. Probably working for the people. Tell me what's your purpose. Ain't worried about your homie, but know that I know. Every month that rock a feds. He ain't my bro. Yeah, you know I ain't slow. I seen it all before. I didn't try to kill the profit and it's all for show. And somebody right now don't say that I'm not down. I'm coming for my bastard face. I want my town, my shirt, my soul, my school, my nation. Sick and tired of the procrastination and debate. Y'all keep hating when love is the savior. You know, love yourself and you can't love your neighbor. That's why you killing, fighting, marry out of your grace. If you wait for Moorish world, then get out of my face. Cause Johnny love John, how the Johnny love how you bring it up. I be that boy you gon' remember. I'ma be that boy you gon' remember, that's right. I be that boy you gon' remember. So I can make front line till the law call my number. Yeah, I be that boy you gon' remember. Yeah, I'ma be that boy you gon' remember. Come on, man. Y'all like it? No, I be that boy you gon' I gotta start the show. I gotta start the show. I be that boy you gon' remember. That's it. And I be that boy you gon' remember. So I can make front lines. Hey, fam. We live. Yeah. On Moorish World TV. I'm about to finish this video, please. And I'm going on Moorish World TV. Meet me halfway. I wanna be your friend. Peace and love. Let me be your friend. Peace and love. I said you ain't never met a more like me, and you ain't never ever gonna meet one again. But let me be your friend. Peace and love. Let me be your friend. And look, peace and love. Check this out. I seen a sister from around the way that grew up with me, Coco Chanel. She know that I'm real with mine. I used to be a thug until I met the prophet. See, people know me, can verify this. Let's go. I said you ain't never met a more like me, and you ain't never ever gonna meet one again. I wanna be your friend. Peace. See, people that know me and you clowns call me an agent, man, you got to be out your mind. People know me, man. Let's get it. Love, let me be your friend. Peace and love. And yo, I used to be a thug until I met the prophet. Now I'm all about love, truth, peace, and freedom till I return to Allah. One day, I'm all about justice. That's the focus of the message. Sometimes Asiatics make me want to forget the lessons. I be all up in my passion from all the Moorish passion. All things I start laughing. A grown man with a ponytail. Another calling up Neanderthal. And he all pay. I mean, for real, this is what it comes to. Let's go. We got nothing to do to talk. That's what you mean. Yeah, we can be scholarly, but we can get God. We are the children of our father and the rest of our mother. All we here, man. Let's see my people out of being trying to murder the soul. You need to chill, my brother, and tell the elders the same. Cause on the real, my man, I'm really about them things. I can take the feds off and get us back in the door. And return to the state where they used to call me dope. But no, I'm rolling with the prophet of Allah. I'm rolling with the prophet of the Lord. Hey, family, I get a little bit pumped up. Listen, the music does it to me. That's just what it is. Now, listen, what I had happen was, let me get something to wipe my face. Man, look, I get worked out. Look. So, look, let me say this. Family, I'm going to say it one time and one time only. No, I'm not. I'm going to keep saying it. Moorish leaders of grand bodies need to designate somebody to stand up, or they're going to have to stand up. Brother Williams L said, what are we talking about? The frauds who claim to teach Moorish science and Prophet Noble Drew Ali. I'm going to say it one more time. Leaders need to stand up, because what I'm going to show tonight, is going to show how these people have taken the prophet's lessons, twisted it, and made it their own. Now, a lot of people were on Facebook talking and running their mouth on and on and on and on. So I told all of these naysayers and haters, I said, come on to Moorish World TV. I'm going to be respectful, and I'm going to let you share your view and your opinion. As you can see, we don't have anybody on the panel. The reason why we don't have anybody on the panel to go against what I'm saying, because obviously they may have thought about it. Now, I hope that they come back towards the middle of the show, because I'm telling you, I take on all challenges that want to defend and say that Taj teaches Prophet Noble Drew Ali's Moorish science. I take on any and everybody that says that Cannon Bay, that Cujo, that any of these people that is not associated with the Moorish Science Temple of America teach Moorish science as taught by Prophet Noble Drew Ali. Now, what I'm going to do is I'm going to show you quite a few clips. But we're going to start off. Let's first start off like this. I'm going to start off. Let me see what I got here. First, we're going to start off like this. Family, listen. Work with me, because I'm calming down so I can get this thing right. So look, first we're going to start off like this. Here we go. I think that's it right there. So look here. This is how we're going to start off. This is how the show starts. The name of this show is The State of the Moorish World. And when I say the Moorish world, I'm speaking about all of those who claim to be a part of the Moorish paradigm. All of the fakes, all of the phonies. Hey, Star, my brother here. Let me mute you real quick, brother. There go my brother. CJ. Hold on one second. Let me mute you real quick. So family, this is what the show is about. You don't have to like the show. You can love Taj Tariq. That's between you and Taj Tariq. You can be in love with Sabir Bey. That's between you and Sabir Bey. I'm not attacking Taj or Sabir Bey. I'm actually attacking the information that is played or portrayed as being Moorish science as taught by Prophet Noble Drew Ali. Personally, I have nothing against Taj Tariq Bey, but it almost gets personal once I discover that it's intentional to mislead people. And I haven't crossed that line yet, but through my research, it's starting to seem like it's intentional. It's like he knows what the prophet taught. He knows the intention of the Moorish Science Temple of America. He knows the structure of the Moorish Science Temple of America. And one of the first things I like to ask in reality when we talk about this topic, and the reason why I point Taj out, let's be clear. The reason why I point Taj out is because Taj is the father of this doctrine outside of the European. He adopted some of the European doctrines, and then he made it into a Moorish doctrine. But in the Moorish paradigm, Taj Tariq Bey is the father of right to travel. He is the father of making IDs. He is the father. I see my brother laughing. He is the father of this. There's nobody before Taj Tariq that I can think of. Now, if I stand to be corrected, correct me, but there is nobody that I can think of before Taj Tariq that called themselves the Moorish National Divine Movement, not being associated with a temple, and then begin to teach as if he's teaching more science. There's not nobody that I know that demonstrate the right to travel, that demonstrates the ID. Cannon Bay take it to the next level. He got a weed card now, and we gonna get into all that. He got a weed card. You know what I mean? He done took it to a whole nother level, a religious weed card. So one of the first things I have to ask, family, and I'm gonna look in the chat. Let me turn my chat on. Family, if anybody knows, I know the lovers of Taj Tariq there. I know y'all in the chat. So maybe y'all know something that I don't know. I need to know, according to Taj Tariq Facebook page, he is a national grand sheikh and divine minister. I need to know, and I'm turning on my chat now because somebody might know. First of all, who made him a grand sheikh and a divine minister? That's the first thing we need to know. You see, because even if you go get your car fixed and you come back and your car ain't right, you want to know, hold up, man, what school you went to? You might even say it jokingly. Man, where you got that out? The Cracker Jack box? You see what I'm saying? So we need to know who made Taj Tariq a national grand sheikh. And secondly, national grand sheikh of what? Of what? Now, the reason why we have to point that out, because we have to. He said the goddamn doesn't stagnate himself of natural law, divine law, superseding. Okay, whatever. Listen, the term grand sheikh is a phrase coined by the Prophet Noble Drew Ali and his organization. All right? So, if in this document designed by the Prophet Noble Drew Ali, he says, the Grand Sheikh and the chairman. You have never heard Grand Sheikh before the Prophet Noble Drew Ali. Not that I know of. Prophet Noble Drew Ali coins the term Grand Sheikh as a title of a member and an official of the Moorish Science Temple of America. That's it. That's it. Now, the Medunetta say that's Taj bashing, it's hatred. This is not Taj bashing. We want to get to the truth. If you don't like the truth, go watch something else. Go watch Sabir stack a whole bunch of books up and tell you how smart he is. Go watch that. We getting to the truth. I ain't talking about Taj. I'm talking about the truth and what Taj teaches and the truth of more science. Now, if you want to go look at somebody, yeah, I just booked this book. This book here is 150. Yeah, so you have to get this book right here. You have to order it special order. It takes 3 years, 5 months, and 25 days to come to you. You see, if you want that, go watch Sabir Bay. We're not watching no Sabir Bay today. That ain't happening. Now, let me let my brother introduce himself before I get turned up too much, brother. Brother, please introduce yourself. Let people know your position, where you stand. And so when somebody else come in the chat, they'll be able to show us where they stand with all of this.
Oh, man. First, Islam, peace, family. All honors to the noble prophet Drew Ali. And I just want to give my thanks for you allowing me to come on the platform once again. This is my second time, and my appellation is DJ Bay, and I'm one of the CFOs and CEOs of Atum Works. For those who don't know, and I am when it comes to my stance, I'm not really against Taj, but what you are saying is completely right because he does not teach Moorish science. I'm not against what Taj teaches, because he does have a factual stance with where he's coming from. But for him to put it, I don't know if he ever well, you said that he said it's more science. I never heard it.
So, okay, I'm about to show you in a second.
But it's like I didn't, but that's not Moorish science because I've been to Temple. I got all my literature. I know what's Moorish science. What he teaches is legalese and law, and that's contract law, and that's pretty much falls underneath UCC codes and statutes and codes. All of that is man-made, is not divine-made per se, and it's most of it comes from the European, even though we were the ones.
You say it again, brother, and you demonstrate it and you benefit from it. But brother, this is why I respect you, because you tell the truth. You demonstrate it, you benefit from it, but you don't try to pass it off for something that it's not.
No, even though we were the ones to educate them, even if you look back, because they came to Kemet and they got educated by us in Greece, Rome, everywhere. We taught them about astrology, mathematics, even when it comes to Freemasonry, because that's more science given to the European. And we gave them that. So everything that they have, even Latin is Moorish Latin. Everything that they have, we were the spark for it, but we were not the ones to copyright it. So for it to be pushed off, I have never said that the UCC is Moorish science or it comes from Moorish, because it don't. It don't. Those kind of statutes and codes, we are not the ones running this government. We have not established any of these statutes and codes. We have our own statutes and codes that we regulate by underneath the Moorish Science Temple.
There we go, brother. See what I'm saying? See, this is why I can have a conversation, not because you agree with me, because you give an understanding that is consistent with common sense. Common sense. You know what I mean? That's like common sense. Like, listen, we have been subjugated by occupiers. Let's keep it 100. Like we not, people in the temple is not so blind as you would think that, okay, we go in there, praise Allah, and we don't understand that we are being occupied. Like, come on, man, that's pretty obvious.
Yeah, because I didn't have people tell me. Man, it's a sister in my house, my mistress. I don't really care for the word wife because of the etymon. And see, that's something that Taj got me into, studying etymon. But it's important, but that's not Moorish science. But it is important though. But understanding the etymon of wife, I know that wife is a derogatory term. It means bitch, so does queen. So I call my spouse my mistress because it means master or teacher. So my mistress, she actually doing the sister here, and she was talking to me about Muslims because she has seen, she's not a Moor herself, but she has seen the way that some of us deal. And I had to tell her straight up, like, yo, like what you see ain't really all of us. I was like, because I don't deal that way. And everyone who rock a fez or carry that title is not upright, because some people, they have the term that they call dirty Moors. I don't really care for it, but it's not. I don't really partake in the dirty Moor center. It's just people dealing in lower self, because if you're a true Moor, you deal upright.
Fact. So let me share this, my brother. Let me share this. I got, man, the thing is, I got to use Taj as the poster child to get to the root of the issue. And when you look at this is what I grabbed off of his, Facebook. It said, announcing the expansion of Moorish science civic classes at House Reawakening Minds to every Friday, 6:30. Listen, in addition to first and third Friday classes with Grand Sheik. Who made him a Grand Sheik? Wait a minute.
That's what yeah, you supposed to be anointed and appointed.
Listen. That's just like on House of Consciousness. They got on Brother Reggie for calling himself Dr. Reggie.
As far as I know, Brother Reggie was never the one to give himself that title. It was Sinetta. Yeah.
But the thing is, the people came down on him. Like, how do you call yourself a doctor? But Sinetta was just playing on the idea that Reggie was meticulous as a doctor, as a researcher, I would guess. You know what I'm saying? But people came. I mean, that's their thing. I mean, but the people, they made him qualify.
Our people got mercy for everybody but us. Our people got mercy.
Yeah, they made him qualify. How do Taj get away with not qualifying? Who made him a Grand Sheik?
Let me them headphones.
You follow me?
So they in the group I had seen earlier, they had said something about C. Freeman L. I too have studied C. Freeman L. Now he is another
Hey, you on
brother
this joint, cuz?
who was
You on
he
this?
was very informative as far as it comes to high science. It wouldn't necessarily call it more science, but he does wear a fez, and he is a high ranking Mason. So
Right.
you can't really expect people to stay in the parameter of more science when they have all these different hats underneath them, because I myself belong to multiple schools. And like, but you see what I got on my head right now.
My thing is this: when you pass it off as Moorish science is misleading. The reason why is because Prophet Noble Drew Ali came with a particular solution for the liberation of our people. Now, you may not have to believe in that liberation. Maybe you don't understand the solution and the liberation. That's fine. But don't take pieces and act like you're doing the job of liberating, because when you take a piece from it, you actually making it look as if you are the one, and then people discredit what actually was the liberating piece.
That's why you're supposed to keep the prophet out forefront. And it's saying the prophet is always, if they don't have the prophet out front, it's not right.
But when people say that they have the prophet out front, but then they got a misconstrued teaching of the prophet's lessons, then you don't have the prophet out front. You're just saying it. You're playing lip service. With that, we got a brother coming in. Let my brother introduce himself. He looked like he DJing. He got his head on the shoulder, all that, brother. It's love, brother. Peace and love, brother. I got you muted. Unmute yourself. Come in. Let the people know who you are. Let's talk about it. What's your position, brother?
Yeah, that's my name is Anu Kakaraka Rube. St. Louis, Mound City. Habitat Marakush. Yeah, I'm just here repping, listening, chiming in on you.
Look, so you and I had a conversation online. It seems like you and I was going back and forth. Brother, let me be honest with you. Brother, I go back and forth when I find the time on Facebook. I go back and forth with a lot of people. I don't take it personal. You know what I'm saying? I really don't. I just want to represent Moorish science in its purest form. That's it. Because I know that it's been people been putting cut on the work. They've been cutting the work up. I mean, that's what they've been doing. They've been cutting the work up. So, brother, let me ask you, what is your position? Brother, I'm gonna just call you Kush, brother. What is your position, brother Kush?
Well, my position is this. According to the Circle 7 Quran, chapter 47, it talks about the only royal house in the Circle 7 Quran, which is the house of Ham and Cush. And then later on, it talks about them receiving permission from the pharaohs of Egypt, which means that it was an extension of the Nubian Kushite Empire. So what my position, where I'm standing at, is that there's a tribal side to this Moorish nation that people are negating, and when we're not adhering to our ancestral thrones and stools, we're not honoring our forefathers and our foremothers. And when we overlook that bit of information, I mean, it's the reason why it's in the Circle 7. So when you ask about the deeds of our forefathers, we can go back to that one root that binds us all together, which is Cush. Cush is the father of us all.
But
That's from our tribal side. I mean, people can stand on ecclesiastical doctrines of what it is, but when you go get your blood tested, you a Nubian, you Bantu, sub-Saharan African, just like all your ancestors before you.
that's cool. Now I see my brother CJ Joseph shake his head, brother. Let's chime in, bro. What you was about to say? I'm behind you.
Well, I guess I want you to be more specific when you are speaking on Kush. Do you mean as far as like Kemet or the whole landmass of Africa? Because if you are dealing in that aspect, I know for sure there's people whose DNA, it goes back over 300,000 years. And I myself have ran my mother. I ran my mother's side for my DNA test, and I know how far mine go back. I'm an L2A1B1. So by definition, my blood says I'm a Moor because that's the L2A1. So,
Hey, bro, can I say this? Do anybody know that nationality is not predicated upon DNA?
Yes, I do. Your nationality can be changed as well.
That nationality is not predicated upon DNA. And so the point that I'm making is the Prophet Noble Drew Ali, I'm gonna let you go, CJ Jones. The Prophet Noble Drew Ali came to establish us as the nation as we once were in this new era of time. In the old era of time, there were dynasties, there were empires. In this new era of time, there are states. And in states, we have nationality, descent, and a national name. This is a new era of time now. So what you're saying is fine, brother Kush, but in this new era of time now, the prophet is putting us right where we need to be in this era of time. CJ Jones L, come on with me, brother.
Well, bro, you keep calling me DJ. But it's all good. It's all good, bro. But as far as it go, I just want to like fine tune what brother was saying, because what he said, it does hold precedence, and then there is a tribal side that is not really being brought to light. But in retrospect, that is not what was brought as Moorish science. There are things that Taj, like this is when I could like I kind of got to go back and forth, because Taj do have valid points as well, because Taj is the one who said study. Through your studying, you are supposed to figure out like your DNA, your geology. So then throughout that, you can figure out where your people come from. But that is not per se Moorish science. But it is important, because my DNA legit say I'm a Moor.
My question is this. This is my question. Okay, see, when you say that's not Moorish science, then I have to critically think for a second and ask you to define what Moorish science is.
Moorish science pertaining to as what was given by the prophet for the temple, as far as the literature go.
Okay, so you saying that Moorish science is not the occult, and it's not hold on. I'm not done. It's not the occult, astronomy, mathematics, geometry, and the rest of the physical science that they taught the Europeans in during the invasion of Europe. They taught them these things. The Moors taught them these things, and that's the actual true Moorish science. It is not just a set doctrine. It's a real academia.
Let me chime in real quick, bro. What we're talking about, you're 1,000% correct. But in this era of time, the Moorish science that the Prophet Noble Drew Ali brought to us for our liberation is a specific set of principles, laws, and way of life that will guide us up out of the mess that we find ourselves in. It's specific to the teachings of Prophet Noble Drew Ali. We're not talking about ambiguous, the science of the Europe. We taught the European, the science of the Masons. Yes, that can be in a general sense Moorish science, but the Prophet Noble Drew Ali brought us a specific Moorish science. And the framework, it's found in the three things that he said, take it and save yourself. The Constitution and bylaws, the Holy Quran of the Moorish Science Temple of America, and the questionnaire. This is the framework. People can quote the quotes of the prophet. People can quote the letters. People can quote the Moorish guide. But the prophet said, I brought you everything you need to save a nation. Now take it and save yourself. And he held up three particular items. This item here governs the body of the Moorish Science Temple of America as it relates to a grand body and an organization. So this shows me once we get outside of this, we are out of order.
Right. Okay, that's what I'm saying. That governs the MSTA, the temple. Am I correct?
Absolutely.
Right. That doesn't govern your house.
Oh, absolutely, for sure. You are the temple.
Okay, so and this is where I'm going with that. When you start going into a man's house, now you're going inside of the actual house, which is where the tribal and clan realm exists, and that is that realm. It's in that realm where we treaty with each other on that perspective.
I can make it super plain for you, bro.
My brother that just came in. Come on, DJ.
No, I'm about to say I can make it super plain for you, bro, because in masonry, which was given to the Europeans by the Moorish, which came out of Kemet. But you also have to remember, a mason is only someone who is a worker. They're a bricklayer. They're a laborer. So they're not really on a hierarchy like that. They're a laborer, but they are of importance. So in masonry, they have speculative masonry, and then they have operative masonry. There's the individual who speculates, and then there's the individual who actually does it. The speculative masonry is the ones that you see dressed up in the aprons, in the garb, and all of that. Now, operative masons, those are the ones who's laying the bricks with the brick and mortar in the trowel. So in that aspect, we have what you have. We have, like, I'm trying to give it to you the best way possible. We have more science for the temple, and then we have the scope. We have more science for the temple, the specific instructions that was left by the prophet. Then we have what the prophet gave to us, the compound information. Because our people are not on a level where they can just take in all of this information like that. We don't resonate like that. One, we have bad diets. Two, we drink fluoride water. And then we still do a lot of BS. You have to be able to vibrate on a high level in order to partake in a lot of this information. That's the reason why we still are having a lot of this combative conversations. And I'm a youth, and I get it, because, like I said, I put in my work, and I went to a bunch of different schools.
Why you get it? I don't mean to cut you. The reason why you get it, you are part of that third and fourth generation, brother. Whether you ever join the temple or not, you making sense. You're making sense.
Oh no, I'm Temple. I'm Temple 25 in Detroit. Like, that's my home temple. That's where I got my card and everything from there. It was like I got nationalized and all of that. So I've been to the temple. That's why I can speak on it and what's going on. And I remember you telling me that we gonna get to some of the things that the reason why the temple falling short. That way we can correct it, because if it's not brought to light, it will remain the same. And a lot of the issues is the elders, and a lot of the issues is the things that we're talking about right now, because there's a misconnection or a miscommunication pertaining to what Moorish science is, as far as like metaphysics and world science are just Kemetic science versus what temple Moorish science is.
Like, right, and that's
Brother Kush. Be brief, because I want to bring the brother in. I don't know who that is, but he just came in.
That's my brother. Go ahead, bring him in.
Oh yeah, you're gonna need 5 more, brother. You're gonna need 5 more. It's not peace and love. I see on your screen it say Uriel. Brother, come and introduce yourself. Let the people know where you're from and what you represent, brother.
Uriel Bay, and I'm here in Mound City, near the Metroplex of the Cahokia Pyramid Mound, capital of the Marakush territory. And basically, I'm just here to represent, for the truth, for unity, and also to set the record straight.
Let me ask you, brother. When you say set the record straight, what do you? I mean, did me and you have a conversation online, brother? Was it me and you too?
Your conversations.
Oh, no. So what you mean by set the? I guess it wasn't. So what you mean by set the record straight? What record is out of order? Because I want to set the record straight too. So we gonna set it straight together, or we gonna have to come to some form of consensus? What you mean by set the record straight?
Well, in particular, my brother gave a really excellent introduction where he named a specific bloodline by name, which is also mentioned in the Holy Quran, Moorish Science Temple of America, and that name is Kush. And I think that it's very relevant that we give the proper respect and honor to that name and to that house. And a lot of times, I don't see that. I see it from a semi-historical perspective, but it always seems to be an additional spin, a biased spin that's always seems to be.
Can I say this? Can I say this, brother? I think the problem is this: the Prophet Noble Drawley, you have a bay on your name, meaning that you have been some kind of way informed by the Prophet Noble Drawley. You just quoted the Holy Quran of the Moorish Science Temple of America, right? So some kind of way you have been touched by the Prophet Noble Drew Ali, right? Am I correct? Indeed. So the Prophet Noble Drew Ali created this divine movement called the Moorish Science Temple of America. Now, my position is this, brother. I wanted to walk away many a times. There's many things that I went through in the Moorish Science Temple of America due to the lack of understanding. But guess what? I said that I got to be the leader that I was looking for. So when you go into the Moorish Science Temple of America and you thinking that people are disregarding the significance of Kush, guess what your job is? To make sure it's not disregarded. You don't leave the movement because our liberation is within the construct. That the divine, man, when we talk about a divine prophet, people can call this ecclesiastical, they call it what you want. But when you say that Prophet Noble Drew Ali is a prophet, you're saying that he was sent by the creator, by the Netchers, by the forefathers, by the ancestors with our answer.
And see, to add on to that, you know, there's powerful significance just in saying that. By saying that he's a prophet, that in and of itself, that's an ancient tradition that goes back, you know, as far as we can remember. You know, that's an integral part of society. A prophet carries a certain high level of esteem and responsibility in society. So that's significant.
Yeah, hold up. All right, I think it's a brother calling it in a minute. But so what I'm saying is, the thing is that the Moorish Science Temple of America has suffered a lot due to misunderstanding. Islam family?
I say it's piss poor leadership, but hey,
hold on.
It can be corrected.
Go ahead, DJ Joe.
No, I'm just saying because we know how things can be portrayed, and we know that sometimes our people go back to nigga moments instead of more moments. And sometimes those same people are the ones who are out in front running things. And that's not always acceptable. And those people need to be held accountable. But man, as far as it go with that, it was like, if you in a temple, you need to speak up on what's happening. And you need to make sure that the proper people are running the temple. Or otherwise you risk losing your future, which is me. And everyone who come after me, because if it's not right and I'm in the show me generation, we not gonna want to be a part of that. I'm not trying to come back and go to church, bro. And I love the I love the temple songs. I love them, bro. It's like, but I'm not trying to go back to church.
Why do we say that when we have the ability to affect change? We say that we ourselves Lord Master in one breath, but in the next breath we say, I don't want to come back and go to church. Well, change it. I mean, that's a poor excuse to me when people say, I don't want to go to church, when we have the power to change it. Brother, I am an example. Brother, have you ever seen, let me say this real quick. Hey, brother, you on the phone? All right, hold on one second. Let me say this real quick. Hey, I'm not going to shout my credentials out, but I have credentials, official credentials. Have you ever seen a brother with credentials get in front of a screen and hip hop and you ever seen that before? Brother, I affect change. Show me where I'm out of law, and then we can talk. If you can't, get out my way. And so that's how Moorish science have to be. During the time of the Prophet made Moorish science the most popular thing in town. He did everything humanly possible to make sure that the word was out, that a prophet was on the scene.
Right, and what I'm asking is this, because when I research events and happenings dealing with the prophet, you know, mysticism always come into play. So that's the reason why my ask about
everybody.
Hey, listen, that's the reason why I asked about how are you defining Moorish science, because that Moorish science that you talking about through mysticism is rooted in tribalism.
But
and
why introduce that in the temple setting because the solution is in the temple setting.
Oh, they don't study that in temples. They don't study tribalism in the temples. That's the reason why we
There's
formulate
a reason
tribes.
for that. We have a disconnect with our ancestry because
that's what I'm saying. Right, because the ancestral deity. That's right, because the ancestral deity is not housed in the temple.
Let me do this real quick because I'm gonna tell you how we can change that. Brother on the phone, you had something you want to add to the conversation. Islam?
Yeah, Islam, Moorish.
So come on, brother, the floor is yours.
He was my brother from Mound City. He was talking about we forgot about tribalism. But because I'm an outside more, I'm just getting into the whole situation. I love both points, the MSTA and I love, you know what I'm saying, the outside more. So anyway, you were saying that we lost tribalism and it comes from Nubia and East Africa. It has nothing to do with Noble Drew Ali. So you're taking one instance that's coming from East Africa that's nothing to do with Noble Drew Ali, then you don't get Noble Drew Ali with the same thing that has nothing to do with him.
So was Noble Drew Ali's Egyptian adept?
Absolutely.
Did he travel to the east? What did he do in the east? What was he doing in the east?
Hold on, brother. You went from the Nile Valley to Nubia. Then you said he hooked up with
who is the mother of Egypt?
Hold on. One at a time. Go ahead, brother, on the phone.
Now, see, the East Africans hooked up with Egypt over here, Cairo, Illinois.
Oh, shit.
See, y'all keep trying to throw this East African stuff with Noble Drew Ali, and that's not cool. And then downgrade him and try to uplift the East Africa stuff.
And see, I think
hold up. So listen, this is the point of the matter, though. I think at the end of the day, brother, I'm gonna let somebody else call in, my brother. I appreciate go talk after. But look, I think at the end of the day, this is what we have to understand. Did Prophet Noble Drew Ali come with the solution for us over here in North America or not? Yes or no?
Can I answer that?
Come on, brother.
Now, if we look at one of the most successful groups of religious people, we could say it's the Jews. Now, they have an established system that is based on religion. I teach business, and I pay attention to patterns and I also teach my clients because that's how Bitcoin patterns, commerce trending. So understanding patterns, you see a winning pattern, you should pick that up. Even Brother Polite, he has a winning pattern. People should mimic some of his patterns so that they can win themselves. Now, understanding that the Jews have a winning pattern at the time frame when Noble Drew Ali was establishing the temple, the Jews was already up and running. So he understood that religion was something that was beneficial to the people at that time frame in order to get them on that frequency that they were on. So he gave it to them. Now we look at the Jew system, their fiat or their funds circulate their system. It circulate between 3 Jew hands before it even leave out their community, sometimes more. If we can adapt that same system, which is already established, because Prophet Noble Drew Ali, he understood this stuff. And he knew he has a whole, I have it because another Moor gave it to me. Shout out to Cosmo L. He gave me the Prophet's financial plan. And I can read it off to you. And it talks about we're supposed to have hospitals, we're supposed to have schools, all types of things. And this is the same exact type of stuff that they do in the Jewish system. So we already have a winning program. It's just that people need to roll into it, but it also needs to be ran properly by the grand sheiks who are the head of every temple. They all need to be held accountable.
That's why
I wanna address the studio more that called in.
Hold up, brother. No calling names, brother. Look, I want to say
okay.
I mean, come on, man. That's pretty childish, man. Come on, man. It's not silent.
I mean, hey, bro. Look, that's why we here to set the record straight. Is that not why we here?
Difference. Come on, brother. Come on.
Okay. I got.
Yeah, we can't, because you got to remember what are the 5 principles, bro. If anything,
I got to bust you in your head with some truth, man. I mean,
I understand that, but we don't have, because if one thing, you as a man, you should always know that no man wants to be disrespected ever. and you know that could bring back combative energy. Remember, always death
Yeah,
and higher
so
self.
I agree, and challenging my intelligence is one of those things. So this is what I'm saying. Um, they want to tell you that this is Egypt over here in the west, and which means that Horus Aha or patriarch Cush came from over here in America. You see what I'm saying? When his tomb and all of his family records and every single bit a piece of information that we know comes from over in the east, and then you want to sit here and fraudulently come up to man that bull crap that they made up about the Tawa ISIS and the desert of Moab over here in America. That stuff got created in the 1800s in order to bring tourism to America so they could populate the place. That's the only reason why they created that stuff. It's not real. Do some for real research and stop just pushing this, you know what I'm saying, this pseudoism, man. You see what I'm saying?
No,
So when you say what, bro?
No, I say I get that right, but now check this out.
Oh, well, before you continue, I want to address what the young man talking about.
Do you feel as though that Prophet Noble Drew Ali has the answer for our ultimate liberation?
Yes.
Absolutely.
I believe that he does have the keys, but you know, it's up to us to do something with that.
Now, there's no but. Do you believe that Prophet Noble Drew Ali has the answers for our ultimate liberation?
Yeah, civics, yes.
Okay. No. Because you cannot show me in detail the civics that Prophet Noble Drew Ali taught, besides him getting 3,000 people putting somebody in office. That's the Prophet Noble Drew Ali civics. The Prophet Noble Drew Ali civics was getting behind these politicians and putting them in a position to wield and bend the power to the Moors' benefit. That's the Prophet civics. So that don't
mean I understand that. That's why I said I agree with the Prophet because of civics.
So now that we got that straight, why can't we go and join a temple and say, you know what? Can I offer this? And if you can't offer that, then you do it on the side and offer the connection to Kush. Because the Prophet has the ultimate power.
Go ahead, bro.
I agree with you 100%.
I mean, why can't see the thing is we really don't want to work. We want liberation microwave. That's what we want.
Earlier though, he was speaking on his dissatisfaction with the temple, and Tariq, you just answered his question as far as if it's certain aspects that can't be attached to the temple, then you can do those things in entrepreneurship or other cooperative type of factor.
There you go, brother.
Moving.
That's what I'm saying. Yeah. But see, what happens is my problem is this. I know for a fact that this works. I know the roadmap. I know it works. I have confidence that it worked. How do I know it worked? Because the Prophet Noble Drew Ali gave us a perfect example. In less than 3 years, one temple had had what it would be equivalent today of $250,000. They had their own land in 2 different places. They was doing it. You know what I mean? They had their own commerce. They had their own economy. You know what I'm saying? Most people don't know the details of that. And how do I know this work? How do I know this work? Because the Prophet Noble Drew Ali set it up as a government. How do I know people don't know that? Right. Because they go and create other governments. How do I know he set it up as a government? Right. Because I got the manuscript of the Supreme Grand Council. I know how the Supreme Grand Council is supposed to work. I know how the Grand Body is supposed to work. Same way I know how the Senate and the House of Representatives is supposed to work. I know how this thing was set up. So there's no need to create a Moorish American government. There's no need to create a Moorish American republic. There's no need for that. The Prophet already did it. But if you don't have the information, you'll start creating all this new stuff, causing confusion. Like I say, Cannon Bay, he sell license plates to weed cards, marijuana cards. And I'm gonna show that in a minute. So
we don't deal with nationalizing people or anything of that nature. Our whole aspect deals specifically with the adherence to your ancestral thrones and stools. So like
And
that.
we
That's.
need to be taught that in the temple, though, brother. Why do you
I
think,
mean,
brother? The prophet said you can't change a man from his descent nature. So why would you leave the temple and take that information with you?
oh well, no, don't get us wrong. Oh, we tried to take it to the temple. We
But
went to
you
the
can't
temple
make
first
this
with
the
the
whole
information.
doctrine. Brother, the whole thing is this. When people come to the temple, they want to try to make the temple all about Kush. And then some people want to make it all about civics. Then somebody want to make it all about religion. Then somebody want to make it all about dress. And you know what I mean? That is not out of movement. If you want to create a temple of your liking and in your image, then you play your position, you get yourself in position, and you open a temple, and then you make a temple right after your image and after your likeness. So we can all be on the same page and getting this liberation that we're working on.
I want to say something. I want to say something because in actuality, it's just not to throw no shade on that, but just to correct what you said because there's a slight error with it. The temple should not be changed. In actuality,
Right.
the school should be erected, and that should be put in the schools, and that's in the prophet's financial plan.
I'm not talking about changing the temple. I'm talking about bring what you have.
But that should. All I'm saying is that should go to the school.
Yeah. Okay, and that's what I'm trying to tell you, bro. Like when we first came, when we first came into the knowledge, we came to the temple. The temple didn't want to hear. They didn't want to hear none of that stuff, man. We sent messages to a lot of the temple homes. You see what I'm saying? And we didn't just stop there. We didn't just stop there. We even crossed into other groups and sent a word to those groups. You know, and everybody's ego denounced it and
Well, I'm gonna
didn't
tell you
even.
this, bro. If you was in Baltimore, and your teachings was right and exact and consistent with the teachings of the Prophet Noble Drew Ali as it relates to the Holy Quran and the Moorish Temple of America, I would have you in my temple teaching it once a month. Period. Point blank.
Well, in your Circle 7
Did you
Quran,
hear what he said? He said
if
it all lines up with the prophet, and he said he will have you teaching in the temple. Now, temple teaching is different from school teaching.
Not necessarily.
No, I'm saying it's supposed to be because what was left for the temple is for the temple, and the reason why you're supposed to erect the schools.
But I'm saying if it's consistent, if he's naming out the Holy Quran and the Moorish Temple of America, the Land of Kush, if he's sticking to that, then yeah, that's Sunday school all day, every day.
Agreed.
No, it's not.
Every day.
No, it's not. No, man. Kush is not Sunday school, man. That's your ancestor, just like your grandmama, your great grandmama. You know what I'm saying? Like you got to
about Sunday school in the temple, bro. He talking about Sunday school in the temple.
I'm talking about it's permissible in the temple setting as long as it's consistent with the holy teachings of the Prophet Noble Drew Ali, the Holy Quran of the Moorish Temple of America. Right. As long as it's consistent. Right. That's all I'm saying. It's permissible. That's all I'm saying. You know what I'm saying? You follow me? So, brother, in reality, I don't think we disagree. So I want to ask you a question. Why y'all get bent out of shape because I say Taj don't teach more science as Prophet Noble Drew Ali taught? I think you got bent out of shape, brother.
Yeah. I ain't even gonna lie, man. I got bent out of shape because before I ever heard of Tahaka, before I ever heard of the MSTA, I heard of Taj. I seen Taj teachings before I ever heard of any more. You know what I'm saying? Like, so Taj was the one who brought me to Noble Drew Ali. If it wasn't for him, I would have never knew who Noble Drew Ali was. You know what I'm saying? But my thing is he don't teach what he teaches law and jurisprudence. He don't pass that off as more science.
No, I just showed you he does. He does. He calls it more civic. No, he does. He does.
Well, civics is one thing, but calling it more science is another thing.
He said Moorish. He said the word Moorish.
Science, civics, specifically.
Yeah, see, and when he puts the civics in it, it becomes a law of jurisprudence, the science of law of jurisprudence.
Bro,
nah, bro. I teach business law. If that was a copyright claim, Tosh could get sued, and he know that.
Brother, when you call something Moorish science civics, you are trying to bring people into into your information by the way of the Moorish Science Temple of America.
Well,
we don't need to sugarcoat.
Well, when I hear it, it sounds like he's defining what type of Moorish science that he's teaching.
But that is not Moorish science civics. Not a such thing.
I mean, but we still ain't even defined what Moorish science is.
I'm about to tell you. Moorish science, and my brother DJ did too. Moorish science must be, because Prophet Noble Drew Ali coined the phrase in this era of time.
Mm-hmm.
It must be consistent with the documents and the lessons as taught by the primary sources. The primary sources of Moorish science in education, it's called primary sources.
Okay, and that's what I'm saying. Like, this is where the confusion coming from right here. Because in one instance, Moorish science is arithmetic, is natural physical science. Hold on, and then in another sense, it's a set religious doctrine. You see what I'm saying? And when we cannot define the two.
Can I ask you a question? Who coined the phrase Moorish science?
Couldn't tell you, but when I did the research,
look,
when I did the research,
let me tell you.
I find Moorish science attached to Madam Balak.
Prophet Noble Drew Ali coined the phrase Moorish science. Okay. Therefore, he has the right to say the primary source to define Moorish science is these three.
No, I'm saying where what you just said, where can I find that written at? What? You just said the prophet said in order to define Moorish science.
That's not what I said. That's not what I said.
Yeah, you say what you said because what I'm saying is the prophet dealt with mysticism, which is rooted in the occult. And the occult is rooted in tribalism. We're gonna be going back again. You know what I'm saying? Which is where the problem is.
Bro, the problem is that you're trying to get a general sense as opposed to a specific sense. I'm trying to get specific.
Right, that's what I want. Specific. When you say Moorish science, if you only talking about the Circle 7 Quran, the questionnaires, and the bylaws, the Constitution, if that's all you talking about, then you need to just define that and just say that.
No.
Because when you say Moorish science, people think about the Kemetic knowledge. They think about
because then that's Kemetic science. What you are doing, you are.
It's all the science. All the science is one.
No, like no, because law is very specific and so is words, bro.
It's all science. It's all knowledge. Like there's nobody has a monopoly on information, man.
Okay. You know what happens?
You are changing the word, which means you're changing the pretense of what the situation is, because that's a time frame. Kemetic science.
No. What it is y'all trying to.
And those people up there. We call it Moorish science. It was not called Moorish science then.
One at a time. DJ and then Brother Kush go. You know what I'm saying?
All I was saying is we call it Moorish science now. Back then, when Kemet was falling, they didn't call it Kemetic science. Even then, it was like, so what you are calling Moorish science as far as spiritualism, metaphysics, mastery of mind, it's a collection of all of those, and you're just putting Moorish science on it. Even though that's what we call it in this day and age, it was not called that back then. Now, in this day and age, Moorish science is Moorish Science Temple of America.
Okay, and this is what I'm saying, bro. Listen, okay, when the Moors invaded Europe, did they just teach them snake charms and you know what I'm saying, spells? No, they taught. Hold on, they taught them real science. It was real physical science. Hold on, and that all of this stuff is relevant because you couldn't have alchemy. You couldn't have alchemy, which is more science.
You want to know what they called it? They called it masonry. That's the word.
You couldn't have masonry. You couldn't have masonry without having
the Europeans called it masonry, bro.
Let's stop for a second. Pause for a second.
You cannot have. You can't have any of it.
Brother Kush, do you want to be liberated?
Yeah, sure.
Prophet Noble Drew Ali have the answer.
The answer to what?
For our liberation.
Yeah, civics.
If you think that, then if you just think that.
Yeah, civics. Sure, civic. We
Why?
already answered that.
Let me say, so wouldn't it be wise to try to master the framework what he asked us to master in order to bring that liberation to the forefront?
It is for certain people that would apply. But
because
you know,
at the end of the day, listen, let me say this, you're out.
Humanity are just nation.
We're not going to be liberated. You're out. I'm gonna let you go in 1 second, brother. We're not going to be liberated without organization. That's just fact.
And that's
That
the
was
reason
the purpose of this organization of the Moorish Science Temple of America. This organization of the Moorish Science Temple of America. Regardless of people have abused it, regardless if they have misused it, misrepresented it, the framework was designed to organize us for our liberation. So if we want to be liberated, what would be the next real step?
Okay,
Get
so
organized around the prophet.
This is my question.
Let Uriah go. Let my brother Uriah go. How you say your name, brother? I ain't good. My tongue ain't good with English words or funny words. I'm from round way. Let my brother go. His name?
You call me? You read?
Yes, brother. Go. You go. I want you to add on, brother.
Well, okay. So just basically the whole issue is as far as what you just referenced in terms of the Moorish science and the role that it plays, which is significant. But as a collective for all of humanity, Moorish science for all of humanity, because there are various types of man. And if you want to, if you look at it from the perspective as far as a prophet being sent to each nation, then each nation has a specific to take to follow through in terms of their salvation or realization or full manifestation of what they're supposed to represent. Moorish science is a solution for a selective group of people, and it is specific to people here in North America who are undergone certain tribulations. Moorish science addresses that specifically, and yeah, it serve that purpose. But you know, again, it's not the only solution or the absolute solution.
I'm telling you that it's the only solution. This is why.
I agree.
This is why it's the only solution. I'm gonna tell you why it's the only solution. Just this fact alone showed me it's the only solution. Because before the Prophet Noble Drew Ali, there was not anybody who demonstrated nationality as it relates to us being stripped of who we are. He made that divine connection back to our ancestors. And because that alone, no matter how many people that may have came, the Prophet Noble Drew Ali was the only one to pinpoint that we were stripped of who we were. So because that, I gotta take his word for it when he say the only way is through your connection to the Moorish science, to the Moorish national, to the Moorish divine and national movement for the salvation of my people. This is the only way. Now, what do I mean by that? We can look at it as a spiritual sense and say, no, you know, you're gonna have to identify yourself like the Hebrews do. You're gonna have to connect yourself. You're gonna have to build a nation amongst yourself. You know what I mean? So in a spiritual sense, connection to the Moorish divine and national movement could mean something else to a group of Hebrews or a group of Kemetic brothers or a group of somebody else. But for the Moors, for those who have Bays and L on their name, the Prophet Noble Drew Ali has laid the framework to bring us up out of here. And there's only one way, and that's your connection to the Moorish divine and national movement, and not that fake stuff. Not the Tariq, not the Sabir, not the, I'm naming names, not that fake stuff, because that stuff that has no end game. There is no end game for getting stuff off of RBB. There is no end game. You might get some information. You might get some good civics. You might get some crazy right to travel card, get busted upside your head. You know what I mean? And you might get some good jurisprudence you can use in the courtroom. But there is no end game as an organization or nation of people. The prophet presents that end game. Come on, brother.
Is there an example of a group of Moors, Moorish Americans out of the Moorish Sons Temple of America who have demonstrated in truth the liberation power of what the prophet has brought? Is there an example?
Let me answer this. You ready?
I do it on the daily. I did it this morning.
No. Hold on, brother. Let me answer this. As a group, organization, listen to me good. No.
Thank you for being truthful, bro.
No. But that's why we here today. That's why we here today, to bring it to the point where we can achieve even greater than what the Moors achieved in 1927, 28, 29. But we got to come together under the umbrella in the framework of the Prophet Noble Drew Ali's movement and stop letting these hijackers take the movement and make money from it. They make it get money.
The closest I have seen was the demonstration by Jerry Lewis Bay. You know what I'm saying? That was like the closest. You know what I mean?
That's a little bit close, but in reality, even when you look at Jerry Lewis Bay and then you examine that, the prophet wasn't trying to connect us to Morocco. The prophet wasn't trying to connect us to Morocco as the state of Morocco. He wasn't trying to do that. He was trying to bring us to the state of our own. Not to connect us to Morocco. These watered down European Arabs don't care about you. I'm calling it what it is. That wasn't the prophet goal, to connect us to the state of Morocco. Heck, they stole our flag. We was flying this flag before Morocco. And now people see our flag and they say, why y'all flying the Moroccan flag? The prophet was seen flying his flag in 1913. They didn't fly it till after the fact. So the prophet, that wasn't the prophet goal. Our goal was to be no different, as my brother DJ pointed out about the Jews, no different than what the Jews did in the land of Israel. Now, I ain't talking about hijacking some land and with another group of people and rough people off as they did on the Gaza Strip. However, that was the Jew did exactly what the prophet planned.
That's what I'm saying. Like, it's you use visual patterns for people to follow, but it's like, only way you gonna do it is if the European tell you to do it. And then our people, like, we always, like, I see it all the time. We be so quick, be like, did you do it? Instead of us just taking initiative and doing it ourselves.
I'm gonna give you another example.
That's because in the end, it is about showing and proving, man. You know what I'm saying? Like it's kind of like you trying to sell a person a pipe dream. If you say like, hey, this working, then you ain't got no example of the work. It's just like you said. Would you follow a person who ain't got no credentials? Would you let a whole doctor on you? Hold on, I'm just saying. That's
an example. Like,
you gonna let somebody, you gonna let a doctor with no credentials work on you? Now think about that in relation when you look at the temple, and then you know what I'm saying. Like I said, it's no attack to the temple, but
attack it. Come on.
Well, I don't have no issue with the temple. I proclaim my nationality in Temple number 5. So some of my best friends are sheiks and stuff. So
I think we missing some of the point. If the temple is not, see, first of all, you have to know the history from 1926 to 29. First of all, if you want to know what the Moors supposed to be doing, study from 1926 to 1929. If you don't know that history because it's a little shaky, join the virtual Moorish Science Temple of America. I got it letter for letter, walk for walk, manuscript after manuscript, documentation after documentation. That's why I'm so confident that it worked. Now, let me show you this though. If we say that we follow the prophet over Drew Ali, then I'm gonna let all y'all chime in. How can we at 1 minute say, okay, we follow the prophet over Drew Ali, And then we say, well, man, I respect Taj because I never heard of the Moorish Science Temple of America before Taj. Man, why y'all coming at Taj? Well, let me tell you this. What about a brother that went to prison and found out about Moorish science? Should he continue to be staying in the state of mind that brought him into Moorish science when he was a thug? When he was a killer? No, he's supposed to elevate from that. So Taj might bring you in the door, but do you stay there if you find out that there's something contrary? I came in through a Moorish Science Temple of America, if you will, was called the Home Communications Office, Moorish Science Temple of America. Had nothing to do with the Prophet Noble Drew Ali. But do I stay there? The brother that runs that now, he changed his name legally to Noble Drew Ali. This day, I'm talking right now. He answered the phone. I said, and you say, who is this? He said, Prophet Noble Drew Ali. Right now, right this minute. But now, do I stay there because he brought me through the door? Heck no. I'm a little wiser. So look,
I don't. You know what I'm saying? Like I'm not a follower of Taj.
So look. So my point is, all those that are followers of Taj, Taj follows CM Bay. The Prophet Noble Drew Ali teaches Islamism. CM Bay says this emphatically. He said, in all my writings, it has shown to be very clear that I'm not a heathen by condemning all religions, including my own religion of Islamism. Now, if this not a weird set of circumstances that you still call it your own religion, but you condemn your own religion, because I always have something constructed to offer in place of universal condemnation, namely absolute science of law of nature as shown in the 12 zodiac signs. I'm not interested in religion and the God no one has seen. Now that's CM Bay. Now, how can someone say that they still follow and honor Prophet Noble Drew Ali when he just kicked the ball down the street?
Well, I mean, I could understand it, but you know.
But what I'm saying is, are you still a follower of Prophet Noble Drew Ali?
I mean, you can still be a follower and a supporter and still have conflicting ideas. Like a wise man changes his mind often. So you know.
But what's conflicting about the Noble Prophet Drew Ali? What's conflicting?
He didn't say nothing conflicting about Noble Drew Ali. He said his religion, Islamism. I mean, you know, if you don't have a problem with religion and realize that Abrahamic religions, they enslaved the entire planet, and you don't condemn it, I mean, you can't really call yourself morally upright.
Hold up now. Or could it be, now let's get into your language real quick.
Okay.
Could it be he didn't understand religion and he defined religion by these European standards?
Not if he condemned it.
Because religion in actuality, you talk about etymology.
Christianity, Judaism, and Islam.
Religion. Anybody know, DJ? What is the etymology of religion? Anybody know?
The basis of them is Christianity, Judaism, and Islam.
Right.
I said, what is the etymology of the word religion?
Oh, it's to tie back, you know.
Say one more time.
Tie again.
There we go.
To tie back, to bind you.
Now check this out. If the etymology of religion is to bind you back, and I will insert to the creator, to the power, to the force, what's wrong with that?
Because that's not your ancestral deity.
No.
And to bind you to something that is not your ancestral deity will create an identity crisis.
I never named the deity. I say to bind you back to the force, to bind you back to the source of all life.
Right, that's your ancestors.
Okay. What's wrong with that?
Okay, and that's what I'm saying. So who's your ancestral deity?
No. I need to ask
Mama, your mother, the matriarch.
Yeah, there you go. Mama. There we go. There go an insight I agree with it.
That's fine. So if religion, the etymology of religion is to bind you back to that force, to that source, to whatever you want to call it. What's wrong with that?
I don't know, man. Like I said, religion is a divisive thing, man, and it separates you from nature.
This is the problem.
Religion separates you from nature.
Religion got the Jews out here winning.
Really,
people has misrepresented and manipulated and for what religion is. People don't even know religion. That's why you keep coming with a European perspective of religion.
For real, I partake.
Is the Catholic priest raping little boys? You think that's religion? That's not religion. Religion is what you just said it was.
African religions, any ancient spiritual religions, because y'all practice Kemetic science and stuff. Well, I practice the ancient spiritual system. And
religion teaches you that you are special and you are chosen and you are set apart. You are not one with this. Spiritualism teaches you that you are one with the universe and you are no different and no higher than the grass or the birds or the bees, man. And one is universal, man.
Hold up, Kush. Didn't you just give me the etymology of religion? And now you're gonna tell me it's something else than what you just said. Brother,
no, I'm saying what the word means and what actually transpires is two different things.
Brother, I don't care what people portray it to be. I'm asking you, what is it?
And that's not true, because that is not like that in Buddhism or Hinduism, and it's not like that in Ifa.
It's a device. Spiritualism ties you back down to the nature, to earth, bro.
Hey, bro. This is the problem. You said that you like the etymology of words, yet you quote the etymology of religion. But then you contradict yourself and say religion means something other than what the etymology means.
No, I'm saying I'm saying religion means exactly what we said it means, but that is not the reality of what we see. That's not the reality.
The religion.
That's not the reality. Look, man. All I'm saying is the billions of people lives who have been taken on the account of religion. That's what I'm saying. Then if you're gonna negate the lives lost, then yeah, I guess so. But when you talk about the lives lost based on these religions, don't tell me that's in tune with the universe.
Bro, what lives have been lost due to Islamism?
It's due to religion, period. It's due to the fact that religion separates you from nature.
I just gave you 3 religions, and I want a specific answer.
Right.
What lives have been lost?
It separates you. Religion is a device just like a gun. And depending on how you use
you're generalizing. You're not being
factual. It can be helpful or it can be devastating.
Let me tell you something. You know what? I'm going to use my brother Sharif Anil Bey analogy real quick. Guess what? Just like you say religion is divisive, this makes you fat.
Yeah, it do. Yeah, it do.
Don't make you fat.
Sure,
you make yourself fat.
This don't make you fat. Shout out to Sharif Anil Bey. Spoons don't make you fat, man. Religion is not divisive. It's the people understanding and the representation thereof that makes you divisive.
Well, then maybe the people understanding need to rise up before you introduce religion on them. Then
that's like, see,
how are we gonna get them to the frequency if we don't even give them the information? The information has been brought to the table. Now it's up to the people to partake in the information. I'm in my mid-20s and I get it. And then, like, for real, this is one of the main issues is there's a disconnection between my generation and who's younger than me and you all, because we have to find some ground for us to meet on. Then we can start making money and making changes in the community and in the temple, because we're the ones who we like the stuff. Y'all have to reach out to us.
I'm going to tell you what, brother. At the end of the day, I've come to see that most people really are not ready to fight to be liberated. You know what I mean? Because I got the brother said this. The brother said that he agreed that Prophet Noble Drew Ali has the plan for our liberation. Yet
civics.
Brother,
you gotta stop saying civics. That's not the answer.
That's time.
Okay, and when you remove civics, what's left?
Brother,
dog, first off, civics is man-made. Nature.
Man, everything you see man-made, man. What are you talking about?
No, it's not.
Hey, Kush. Define for us the civics that you speak of.
Man, civics, law, the science, and law of jurisprudence.
In practice. Tomorrow, you are going to demonstrate civics in practice. What you going to do when you wake up?
Civics, man, law, jurisprudence. Like any you asking me what civics is, and I'm telling you.
No. I'm asking you to show us civics in practice, since
You can turn on C-SPAN, man, and see civics going down in front of you. You can go to any city hall and see civics and see civics going down in front of you. You could go to your mother's house and see civics going down in front of you.
No, I'm asking you right now, if civics are going to liberate us, I want you to explain to me tomorrow morning, you're going to wake up and you're going to do this liberation form of civics, exactly what you're going to do. And then
I don't understand. I don't understand your question.
Listen, okay, I'm going to say it another way. You say our liberation will come through civics, right?
Yeah, politics.
Politics. Okay, so I'm asking you, tomorrow morning, you're going to wake up and you're going to participate in this civics politics.
No, I'm not.
How you going to liberate us?
I'm not a politician, bro. I'm not a politician. I'm not a sheik. I'm none of that, and I'm not striving to be either one of those.
So then, how is the profit plan fitting for you? Because you said it's civics.
Right, civics.
But it's not civics though. Civics is
okay. So once you take the civics out, what's left then?
No, we're going to keep the civics in.
I know, because if you don't take the civics out,
understanding of civics,
bruh, you take the civics out, it's just a religious organization, bruh.
What I'm saying is,
come on,
you
man.
can't even
Let's keep it real.
It's
a religious organization. Without the civics, it's religion.
Bro.
It's a whole government, bro.
Yeah, man. Most religions are built.
Let me say this, bro. You sound real good on Facebook. You ain't sounding too good right here, bro. You sounded too good right here. I gotta tell you,
bro. All religions are based in an ecclesiastical form of government. So saying that it's a government in it is redundant because religions
as an 805. That's a religious government.
Religions are set up in the same format as the tribal traditions that they're superimposed on top of.
No, there's a difference. Because you in the temple, you should know about what happened in 1928, right? You should know about what happened in 1928 when Prophet Noble Drew Ali established the temple underneath the 805 Hurd Convention, making it a religious government entity. Not a 501c3.
No one said anything about a 501c3.
I'm telling you, it's a different type of religious entity.
What I said was that the religious system, the government that you're talking about, is superimposed over our tribal traditions, and that's where the system, the actual structure of the system, come from. So asking me where about the civics part of a religious organization, that's redundant because it's built on my ancestors' tribal traditions. So what's the intent in asking me a question like that?
Okay, because I'm going to answer the question if it was asked to me. So if somebody was to ask me, they say, well, Brother Tariq Bey, man, you run your mouth, you big mouth, you always loud. And you talk about that Taj don't teach Prophet Noble Drew Ali Moorish science. Well, let me ask you, Tariq Bey, if you woke up tomorrow and you ready to demonstrate the civics that will liberate us, what would you do, Brother Tariq Bey? I say, well, you know what? I do exactly what the Prophet did. What the Prophet did, he organized over 3,000 people to vote one way. This comes out of the Moorish Guide. And it says the 3,000 Muslims of the Grand Temple on the west side. I will get as many people as I can to understand that we need to put us in office at the pen so we can have access to the resources. So it says the 3,000 Muslims of Grand Temple and the West Side Temple are making ready to register every man or woman in order to take the lead for various candidates whom they have been instructed to vote for. This is civics at its finest. Alderman Lewis B. Anderson.
Politics. That's what I said.
Honorable George Blackwell.
I said that.
Hold on. Honorable.
I said that. Like that. I guess the answer wasn't good enough.
Honorable.
Like civics and politics.
Honorable H. Jackson. All working through regular Republican organizations.
Like that's a lot of hot air, man. Like we already said, civics and politics,
Those
man.
are civics.
But
I'm telling you what I would do. What you
that's
said,
a portion,
bro.
bro.
Me to watch CNN. I don't want to watch CNN.
Right, and that's what I'm saying. That's one huge portion because
No, it's
without
not. That's like saying a 33rd degree Mason got it all, bro. As far as I'm concerned, a full circle.
I'm not a Mason, man. I really can't speak on
Well, I can tell you, I am. I'm a master Mason, so I can say it. So I'm entitled to speak on that stuff. So,
hey, brother, I'm not contracting. Hey, Kush, I'm not contracting with you no more. I don't want to contract with you no more. That's it.
Okay.
No, that's a joke. That's a joke.
All I'm saying, like in the end of the day, bro.
So
let me just add on to what I said earlier as far as like religion versus civics or politics or tribal nations, however you want to call it, is that the religious or spiritual side aspect of it is part of the traditional culture. It's not superimposed upon traditional culture. It's actually part of it. The chronology of a rulership go in ancient times, the king and the prophet was one person.
Right.
And then over time, the prophet or the oracle became another individual. So then you had the prophet or the oracle, and then you had the priest king. Then after that, the priesthood and the kingship became two thrones. And then you had a king and you had a priest. So all three of these was originally one. And they became three separate portions. That's why I like how you have like in the US Constitution, how they have three main branches of government, because those is all modeled after traditional culture and society, but each one plays its role and is all part of the whole.
Well, in a general sense, as the brother Kush was saying, that is generally Moorish science. You know what I'm saying? Generally. But when we start talking about the teachings of Prophet Noble Drew Ali, there is a specific criteria for our liberation. That's all I'm saying. I'm not saying you can count the stars a million ways. Of course, more science. I'm not saying that you know how many sand at the edge of the beach. Okay, more science. Build pyramids, more science. Fine. What I'm saying, our liberation will come through the framework outlined in the organization called the Moorish Science Temple of America. Other than that, we're going to be chasing that tail. And now the thing is this: whether people choose Moorish science or not, they're going to have to choose this framework. Meaning, they're going to have to self-identify themselves. Then after that, they're going to have to organize themselves. And after that, they're going to have to use the laws of this land to bend towards their will. And that's it. Other than that, these people that shoot people with airplanes by remote control in their living room while they're watching Jeopardy don't care about your paperwork. They don't care about your indigenous status. They don't care about any of that. They just don't. You know what I mean? It is what it is. Ask Uday and Kusei. You know what I mean? These people have murdered from every shore on the planet Earth. They don't care about that. So what you have to do is, as my brother DJ said, he uses the laws to benefit what he's trying to get accomplished. And
okay, I'm gonna ask Tarhaka Bay this question, because in our tribe,
here we go. Load it up.
In our tribe, we treaty with one another through what is called the Living Treaty of Peace and Family. And we gonna extend the treaty to your house, and ask you if you wanted to be in treaty with the tribe of Marakush and you know, we'll shoot you the not the Constitution, but the treaty itself.
Temple number 22 out of Baltimore, Maryland, virtual temple, the Moorish Temple of America, brother. We invite the unity. We invite the unity, brother. I'm not, brother. Let me tell you, I'm the like you ain't even gonna ask me that twice. You might have to go somebody else and be like, let me sell this idea to you. Not to me. I'm with it. Send me what you need to send me, and let's get this work done. Because at the end of the day, the Prophet Noble Drew Ali, I just named 3,000 prophets, say the 3,000 Moors. Prophet didn't have a building that could hold 3,000 people. So what does that tell me?
They was running the show like synagogues.
We need to get people registered. We need to get people registered. So the same way you asked me, I'm asking you to sign up for the virtual temple, sign up, get your nationality card, and when we say roll out, let's roll out and affect the politics on the ground. Whether it be in St. Louis, Baltimore, or Atlanta, wherever it's at. Let's all be registered and ready to rock out. How about that?
That's what's up. That's what's up.
Because see, I don't expect you to be able, even if you was in Baltimore, I don't expect you to come to the temple every Friday, every Sunday. I don't expect that. I'm a temple more to the bone. I want to try to revolutionize the temple experience. That's just but I don't expect
is there any way you can review the treaty for him so he can see it?
What you mean? Who? What? Now, y'all don't be like them Europeans and break these treaties down. You know what I mean?
Nah. The tribe is strict on loyalty.
Because them Europeans like to break them treaties. So while you're looking at that, right, I want to share something with y'all real quick, family, because this was the topic of the show, man. I like this panel, man. I appreciate y'all for coming on, man. And you know what? I want to say this, man. Listen, I think a lot of times we have a misconception of one another. Like a lot of people just think that I want to attack people. When in actuality, I just want the Moorish Science Temple of America as taught by Prophet Noble Drew Ali in its purest form. I want it like the Prophet had it because it was successful during that time. In a very short period of time, it was successful. When you look at these other groups, like this brother here, let me show you this brother here. When you look at these other groups, this brother here, I'm gonna just randomly show some stuff. This brother here, right?
Oh man, I know him.
This brother here, right?
Oh, bruh.
Look, this brother here, he's selling license plates. But now listen, before he began to sell his own, notice these are two different plates. This one here, he bought from somebody. I don't know. That was on his car, on his Facebook page. This one here is the one that he began to make, and now he's selling. And so I said to him on Facebook, somebody tagged me in it. I said, brother, why do you have Moorish National and Divine Movement on your plates? You're not a part of the Moorish National and Divine Movement. And I will go further to say that Taj is not a part of the Moorish National and Divine Movement. Why do I say that? RV Bay is not a part of the Moorish National and Divine Movement. They are not. Why do I say that? Let me show you why I say that. Right here, RV Bay tells you. RV Bay Publications is not the MST of A. You follow me? So if they are not the MST of A,
there it is right there.
They're not a part of the Moorish National and Divine Movement. Why do I say that? As I showed on Facebook earlier, the Moorish National and Divine Movement, as taught by Prophet Noble Drew Ali and the Moorish Science Temple of America, is one and the same. Is one and the same. The Moorish National and Divine Movement membership is free. Did somebody in 1927 say, man, you know what, I'm joining the Moorish Divine and National Movement? Forget that Moorish Science Temple stuff.
Well, I mean, you just said it. I mean, you just showed it right from their own website where it said that they're not MSTA, so that's not even an argument.
So they can't be the Moorish National Divine Movement either.
I agree with that too.
Because they can't, because it's one and the same.
If you work for them, that means you don't work for the temples.
No, I don't even use RV Bay. I deal directly with our tribal magistrate.
The point I'm making is, if you claiming to be a part of the Moorish Divine and National Movement, you have to be the same foundation as it was at the time of the prophet. And according to this flyer, created by the prophet and the Moors in 1920s, the Moorish National Divine Movement membership was free. But a membership of what? The Moorish Science Temple of America. It's the same thing. So when you look on here, the United States of America Republic government, that has nothing to do with the Moorish Science Temple of America. No matter how much they lie for you, no matter how much they lie to you.
Yeah, man, that like we ain't even got to rap about that, like that. I mean, you know, I'm not down at RB.
That's not you, brother.
I know. I'm just saying like that. That's they say it. So I mean, like you know,
I just want to let the people know that even this brother Cannon Bay, he calls this a government website that was actually made from Wiki. I would like to get him make me one because it's pretty nice. This is a wiki site. There's a Wix. I know what it is. He did it pretty nice, man. This brother is very talented. He should bring it back to the Moorish Science Temple of America. He even made some plates, and he gave this guy here the position to become the leader of his Department of Motor Vehicles. So look.
Hey, them plates cold though. I'm not gonna hold you up, but I wouldn't put it on my car.
These plates are very nice. These are the ones that man, look, they would sell these down Canal Street 100 a pop. I'm telling you, these are some nice plates. But this has nothing to do with the Moorish Science Temple of America.
It looked like a novelty item to me, bro. It looked like something you put on your wall.
It looks like a vanity plate. And if somebody buy this and put this on their car, they are gone crazy. They're gone crazy.
Well, you're show them the treaty, man.
Yeah, hold on one second. Hold on, brother. You can't take over my show. I gotta let the people know.
No, I ain't trying to take over the show, but you just hit the nail on the head by showing their own. They own mistake by putting it on their website saying that they not the MSTA. I mean, like that's.
Yeah,
but it's not. But you also have to think about it because is it a mistake really, or do they really know what they're doing?
Yeah, but listen to what I'm saying.
These people generate a bunch of legal documents. These aren't slow people, bro. They know that they can't incorporate themselves on that level. They have to separate themselves in order to separate themselves from suit. Because if someone was to ever address that situation, and then people will be trying to tie the two together, and they clearly have to say that RV Bay is not the temple. Because if RV Bay ever got hit with suit, it will come back to the temple.
And let me finish my statement, though, because I need to let the people know that this is what the show was all about. That this is not have nothing to do with the Moorish Science Temple of America. These fake plates with Prophet Noble Drew Ali image, and this is something I got to say to these super supreme grand sheiks. How let people portray the Prophet Noble Drew Ali in this light? This is ridiculous. This irresponsible for any leadership who are at the top or the apex of leadership to not at least send a cease and desist notice to somebody making these false plates like this. Now, these brothers had nothing to do with the Moorish Science Temple of America.
Whoa, what is that?
Man. I need me one of those.
He said, I need one.
This brother that went so far to create a medical or religious use marijuana card.
Boy, he's going to jail.
Yeah, I mean, but it makes sense though. I mean, you know.
No, but he's completely right as far as legal pretense, because underneath your religion and also underneath the rights of religion.
Yeah. I mean, like that, like that's right as far as Judas law goes. Ain't nothing wrong with that. I mean, is it legal and lawful? I don't know.
Brother, you can't pass it off as Moorish science is the point.
No. Well, it don't say Moorish science on it.
Did you see the seal behind it? Did you see the seal behind it?
Yeah.
No, let's look at the seal behind it.
So I go to the website and he passed it off as Moorish science.
Yeah, but that's not Moorish divine either, man.
What does this say here? for the Moorish American people. Who coined the phrase Moorish American?
Of course.
All right. So what is he trying to teach or insinuate? That this is Moorish science.
It's for Moorish people. It don't say science on there.
It said Moorish American people. What is your nationality? Moorish American. Who said
Moorish
that?
American.
Who said that?
Yeah, but that's still I don't know. That's, to me, that's not in conflict though.
Bro,
Look, I have an e-commerce site. If I put something up there and I say it's more or Moorish American, I'm stating that it's solely.
So is the Moorish Americans not the 50, 60 million Americans of the diaspora? I mean, because if that's not Moorish nation, then I mean, I can understand.
Hey, bro,
I'm speaking from experience. This stuff on my website just for Moors. That's why I can look at this stuff and I can speak on it. But it's nothing. I don't say it's more science.
Hey, Kush. Hey, Kush. If I use your whole name to sell homosexual products, would that be all right with you?
No.
No, it wouldn't. Okay, that's the point. You can't use Moorish American when Prophet Noble Ali coined the phrase.
Well,
and it relates to the Moorish Science Temple of America to sell it.
Get a part of that.
That misrepresents. So let me show one more thing. So real quick, and then I'll let you come, my brother. So this is the dialogue me and the brother had.
That's some fake stuff.
She was so excited about these plates. But I look at the sister and I said, man, this sister went for the okie doke. Because she started defending the brother. Now, all I said to the brother is, brother, why are you claiming to be the Moorish National and Divine Movement? Who is your Grand Sheikh? Or what temple do you belong to? What is going on? And the only thing this brother could say, after you address the 13 articles given by Queen Light Bay, which she just adopted that to her name, Queen Light Bay, you can tell me which of the supreme laws of the land give you the lawful standing to slander me as fraud. It's clearly fraud. You ain't a part of the Moorish National Divine Movement.
First off, no shots at her, but who is Queen Light Bay? And first off, we just got to the etymology of Queen.
Well, see, now they encroaching on the random nobles, and you know.
This is her.
You know, we don't kind of got a disdain for shit like that. I'm sorry.
But everyone needs
I'm showing you.
No. This is a problem because what's going to happen is
that is a problem.
That this is part of the temple, and then this Jewish people don't. People in the synagogue, they don't have I'm a Jewish or I'm Jewish plates, you know, because they get how they're supposed to operate. Even though we know that we're heirs to this estate, it was like there's a certain manner of which you have to do things, and we are skipping steps. If you want plates, you have to build yourself up into the system, and then you have to, request and then arbitrate that your people are supposed to have certain types of identification for their vehicles. If you just can't make it on your own, because what's gonna happen, you're gonna get snatched up off the road.
Let me say this and then we'll move on.
Up to this we in our estate. Who is this we and where is this estate? Because my understanding,
bro, I just told. Well, you probably wasn't on the panel. I'm legit. Like, my nationality.
Hold on 1 second. 1 second. Let me get through this segment and then we gonna move on. So check this out. What I'm trying to say.
Landowner.
I got you. Hold on 1 second. I got you, DJ. Hold on 1 second. Listen, I need to just let the people know that if you're going to buy this stuff, prepare yourself for some nonsense. Eventually, you may get away with a stop. You may not. You may get a tax-free from buying some little donuts or something. You may not. But my job is to let you know that this stuff is not Moorish science. Again, all of this was started by the father of this stuff right here is Tariq Bey. I don't care if you don't like it. It is what it is. So at the end of the day, we got him making plates. We got him making plates. How does a nation ride around with 100 different plates? And this guy here, if you go to his page, man, this guy is seen to be under psychosis of something. Again, the father of this is Tariq. If anybody know, you can email me at tariq@yahoo.com. I want to know of what is he a Grand Sheik, a National Grand Sheik and Divine Minister of, and who made him a Grand Sheik and Divine Minister? Because then we can get to the point to qualify anything he teaches to be Moorish science. And if someone says that he's not teaching Moorish science, here it is right here. Announcing the expansion of Moorish science civics. Prophet Noble Drew Ali coined the phrase Moorish science. So he wearing affairs like the Moors wear. Guess what? He's no different than those Mason Europeans wearing fezzes, portraying to be us. He is not the Moorish Science Temple of America. It is what it is. He does not represent the Moorish Science Temple of America, nor do his civics represent the Moorish Science Temple of America. Again, he's no different than them European Masons that walk around with our fez on that's marked up and portraying themselves to be the founders of civilization. And that's all I got to say about that. So here we go, brother. The floor is yours, my brother, that trying to get me into a contract. I don't know if I'm contracting with y'all. Y'all been with Taj now. I don't contract with everybody. At the time, Tariq, I used to. We ain't contract. They cuss me out on my post, right? And then I say something back.
No, man, we Tamaric Kushites, man. We ain't Tajites.
I just joke. So what you got, brother? Talk to me.
Hit him with, show him the
What's going on?
how you Uriel, pull up the
It's on his screen. He got to speak so it come up on the main screen.
I see it.
He muted.
Yeah, he need to unmute himself. You gotta unmute himself.
yeah,
Hold up. What's going
All
on?
right. So yeah, here it is. I got it on my screen share. So the concept behind the Treaty of Peace and Family is inspired by the Treaty of Peace and Friendship. Its purpose is to be a household agreement for peace, because we are all bound by blood. And this has about 19 tenets that it goes over. Everything's negotiable, and we promote this treaty.
So
and
let me ask you a question. I think one of my first questions is this, brother. I got you on that. My first question is this: is Tamaric Kush an organization?
You could say that, yes. We'll say yes.
Now my next question is: how many members of your organization exist? How many members do you have?
That's a lot. Well, the number of people that are affiliated vary.
Because the point of the matter is, to make a treaty with somebody, there have to be an organization or nation or some form of collective mobile mobility. I mean, like what's going on?
So the people that are party to the treaty are Tamaric Kush. So when you become party to the treaty, you are Tamaric Kush.
What's the benefits of this treaty? I need to know some benefits now. Because see, the United States treaty, what's that? They have benefits. What's the benefits?
Yeah, go over the benefits, bro.
Where's Tamaric Kush at? I'm going to Tamaric Kush. We're going to Tamaric Kush. I'm just saying.
It sets down some basic rules on how that we should deal with one another. You know, just on matters of everyday affairs. It's not all inclusive, but it's just got some basic points in it, such as mutual respect for each other's faiths and beliefs is one of the tenets. Clarify your membership to specific families and clans. So you can't just be saying that you X, Y to the Z and showing the family crest of another family that you're not born of. You can't be trying to usurp other people's family names and titles and things of that nature. Everybody has a right, to be able to travel in peace and harmony. What else we got here? There's some basic concepts as far as dealing with each other in commerce and good faith. Also, in bringing any disputes before a tribunal or a family of elders to settle matters civilly. And issues in terms of inheritance being, traditionally to the closest of kin, and if there aren't any living heirs, then it should go to the public welfare. And those are the basic tenets right there that I just went over.
I have no problem with that, but I think we have to discuss this off camera to see, where are we moving towards with this? You know what I'm saying? What exactly are we moving towards?
The idea is actually quite simple, because right now in these streets that we live, our children interact with each other and they don't know each other. So the idea is to get the heads of households to agree to terms of engagement when we dealing with each other's families in the streets. When you're in treaty with our family, you break bread and we commune together as a tribe, as a family. That builds mutual honor and respect and trust between families, not just organizations, but the family themselves, the root of the clan.
Let me ask you this real quick, because I don't want to stay on this too long, because I'll check it out off camera. Brother, don't you think what's going to build the true bond and the true relationship is being able for me to come to St. Louis and I can politic with you and your group? You come to Baltimore,
no doubt.
I politic with yours and my group.
No,
you support my endeavor. I support your endeavor. I buy from you. You buy from me. I don't need to sign nothing for that.
No. See, that's what I'm saying. See, that's the reason why a lot of our people fall short, because not contracting with each other. When you put your name on a dotted line, that binds you to contractual law.
But
and when you break, listen, hold on. This where accountability comes in, because the moment that you sign, that means you are liable for all of the points on in that treaty, and that means violating that treaty. The people who signed that treaty has the right and the power to enforce the laws that you broke. You see what I'm saying? And when those laws are uniform between our houses, not even organizations or nations, just our houses or family, because you got to worry about my son killing your son. You got to worry about, you know what I'm saying, that type of stuff. So we talk about on the street level, on this street level, family to family, man to man. If we come in contract with each other, I expect you to honor that contract. I'm not good with shaking hand contracts and stuff like that. You know what I'm saying? When you put that joint on paper and you sign that, you put your fingerprint on that, you saying that you doing that in trust, that I am gonna uphold this and you gonna uphold it too. You see what I'm saying? So if we not gonna come in contract with each other, then how you gonna come in contract with other nations when your houses and your families not in order and they not in contract with each other? So the whole idea is to contract with each other. That way our documents or formats are all uniform all the way across the board, and there ain't no confusion about this, that, and the other. So we don't want nobody false flagging the National Divine Movement no more than we want them false flagging Ty Mary or false flagging noble titles that they don't actually own. King, queens, things of that nature.
Well, yeah, like some of these people out here wearing black fez that they haven't worked for.
Yeah, Taj wearing one he ain't worked for. Let me tell you something.
But can I say something real quick about what bro just said? I just wanted to say I think that's a very beautiful idea, and I think it can be very beneficial to a lot of people. If anything, if I could just give a little bit of constructive criticism or insight from a youth,
oh yeah, no doubt,
for it to be more beneficial for everyone. As far as us as Moors, you should try and incorporate that in there somewhere. It being
that's right.
Well, see that's the whole thing. In Ty Mary, Mary, at the table sits members from all the different tribal groups. We all have different beliefs and things of that
Let me
that
ask you a
nature.
question though, brother. Why? My problem is this. It's not a problem.
Some of the people that sit at our table don't identify as Moors. That's what I'm trying to tell you.
I get where you're going with it, right? I get where you're going with it. And I know the intention is very good. But when the Moor has Baal El on their name, and
It
it's
should be about the house.
Noble Drew Ali, we have a holy covenant. It's just not a covenant, it's a holy covenant. You know what I'm saying? A holy covenant.
Right.
That if this covenant do not bind you to your brother and sister, then ain't nothing you sign gonna make you do nothing more.
Oh,
and
that's what I'm saying, man. See, that's because ain't no accountability. You just saying that you part of the Moors divine movement. There's no accountability when you not that. You know why?
Bring
Because
the contract to the temple. Bring the contract to the temple.
It's not legally binding. That's why you can't do nothing about when they use the name, because it's not. When you come into that body and enforce that law, see, that's what I'm saying. Enforce it. Go do something. Go snatch a body or something. Because if you're not, then you're not talking about enforcing it.
That's right. I got you. But let me tell you something. When the prophet put this holy covenant of the Asiatic nation in the Holy Quran of the Moorish Temple of America, man, this covers everything. But I'm with you though, as the brother said, bring it to the temple.
I think it would be super beneficial because someone like me, I do contracts, and I completely agree with what you're saying, because if people don't, I enforce contracts when people sign on it, because now it's like I even know how to enforce verbal contracts. I pull stuff off social media to enforce contracts. So I get it. You with the signature. And also in commerce, in maritime, how it says the power is in the pen, in the signature. So you are giving your authorship to that contract, and therefore you agree to it. And then when you agree to it, you're saying that everything there that you gonna uphold. If not, then you should be held liable. And I'm completely for that. And this is how we get our people to start acting on a proper accord without
you gotta make
other enforcement. But I just believe you should take it to the temple.
This is what I'm saying.
Give it to Moors. Give it to Moors.
I think we need to come together. Let me say this, brother.
Once you put it in they realm, once you put it in the temple realm, then like you said, it will have to be specific to the temple. And I'm like the temple don't really talk like in the treaty it talk about weapons. Like that there's no talk about weapons in the temple. Okay, you see what I'm saying? And we need to discuss that, because gun violence and guns is something that plagues our nation. So if we don't, the divine constitution don't cover gun violence. You see what I'm saying? So that's the reason why.
Let me interject there, my brother, because actually Tariq is correct, because when it speaks about a covenant as far as with the Asiatic brother, etc., all that's implied. And also by the precepts of love, truth, peace, freedom, and justice, all that is already implied. It's just, in not as many words.
That's true. That's true. But we all know the situations arise.
You ain't got to sell me on the idea. I'm with you on it. You ain't got to sell me on it.
Yeah, no doubt.
The point that I'm making is that we have to, man, if we believe that Prophet Noble Drew Ali had the answer and was given the answer by Almighty God, why can't we come together under the organization which he created by the will of Allah and solve our problems? Why do we continue to abandon the organization that he created in the framework thereof? And some people, man, listen.
Right.
I understand the frustrations, brother. I got stories for days that you would not imagine. Stories for days. However, I stuck around and stuck with it and get myself in position so I can improve on what has been lacking, if you will, to build away from what has been lacking. Them old Moors that told me that, brother, you just too loud. They ain't ready for that. Them old Moors that say, man, listen, you know, Moors don't teach like that. Matter of fact, a sister told me recently, she told me straight up, she said, you don't talk like a Moor. I wasn't cursing. I wasn't disrespectful. I said, well, what is Moorish vernacular? I need to learn the new Moorish American language then. What is that language? I need to know.
Ebonics.
You know what I'm saying? So the point of the matter is that we have a lot of work to do. The prophet said, if the prophet ain't right, the temple ain't right. And if the prophet's mission ain't being played out within the temple, it's time to clean house. It's time to clean house. It's time to put people on notice.
We have situations arising in the
right
nation.
There, what you just said, Tariq, that needs to be addressed right there. It needs to be a clear, painted vision of what the prophet want. That way, it can be it can be executed.
Brother, that's why I tell people, and I don't want to try to sell people on the idea to join the Moorish Science Temple of America virtual temple. But I'm telling you, I'm asking people to take a look at the temple that's connected to my temple, Moorish Science MST of A virtual temple. And within that temple construct, we are going to be seeding temples all around the country to imitate and duplicate the successes of Prophet Noble Drew Ali. Period, point blank. You know what I mean? Period, point blank. We, matter of fact, got my brother in Bethlehem, PA. Got my brother Vegas up in there in San Diego. Got my brother Loston Bay up in Detroit. We gonna make something happen. I'm trying to tell you. It's about to happen where progressive Moors are coming together. And we are going to see temples around the country. And guess what? We don't care about people having a problem with what you think you're doing. Because the prophet teaches us, the people raise you up to sovereign power.
Right.
Once you've been appointed, anointed, and consecrated, and the people hear your message, when they support it, that's where the power lies.
Man, I just want to say this. If people don't know, I can let them know. The prophet was not broke. He actually did very well in his commerce and in his finances. And so much so, he knew business to the point where he got the temple to how Tahaka said. They was almost at nowadays, it would be $250,000. That was a lot of bread back then.
What? And that was one
like
temple,
in 1930.
Brother, that was one temple.
I know. And also by me watching that pattern, like I say, I do business. I pay attention to patterns. The prophet had a pattern that he laid out. Also said he had a financial plan. By me knowing this and me expressing it in my life, by me having we say this in EFI with me and my brother, with the connection, I can make the correction. So with my connection to my ancestor, it helps me to make corrections in my life. Financial corrections as well, because I know his financial plan. I apply a lot of that to my life. And
So
I own all my cars, and I own a house, and I own land, and I'm not 30. And it's all because I know about my nationality because of the work of the prophet.
So, like when we talk about like the situations that arise in the community and stuff, as far as like violence and things of that go, a lot of people don't understand. A lot of that comes from the lack of community. Community is two words: it's common unity. You understand what I'm saying? And the common unity is broken because there is no communion between the houses. Our house
every individual to get up and go out and do something, because my mistress, she's a dance instructor. I'm a black belt. I teach karate to youth, and I also mentor youth, and I also be around her children. I go dance in her dance classes with the youth.
What I mean by that is in our neighborhoods where the violence is going down in the hood. I live in the hood. I live in North St. Louis. You understand what I'm saying?
I'm from Detroit.
Right, that's what I'm saying. So you know firsthand is Wild Wild West around here. You see what I'm saying?
I'm from Baltimore, man. They just shot a detective in the head just while he was knocking on.
Right, that's what.
Y'all see
what I'm saying. Okay, how do we deal? How do we deal with that? Because when our kids out here in these streets, they gotta deal with this same craziness.
That's
And
not
this is my thing.
You have
This
to
is my thing.
to us.
Once we start communing with your neighbors, when you start communing with your neighbor,
nobody my age want to hear none of that hippity hoopla. I'm just keeping it 100.
I'm talking about basic things, man. Communion, just sitting down eating with people.
How you gonna get one of these young trappers to come sit at a table with you and just chop it up?
Bro, I'm about to show you how.
Bro, we've done it quite a few times, man.
No, I'm asking specifically how, because
I'm trying to tell you. We have communion. We have communion in the hood, bro, and people will come if you show up and you post up. They gonna come, and we cook food. We all bring food and we cook, and people come sit down. They listen. We pass out food. We have a merry time. It's not about religion. It's not about nothing. It's just about communing with each other.
That sounds like you handicapping people because you think.
Man.
No, I'm just listen to what I'm saying. Just listen to what I'm saying. From the
1 second. I had to mute y'all. 1 second. 1 second. I think we can come together under economics. My brother is from Detroit. This was the economy of the Detroit Temple. 19,000. This is in 1927. That is $250,000 in today's money. Business reporting for businesses, enterprises, in full sway. 2 grocery stores, printing press, laundry. This is official. This is the economy that the Moors had in 27. We need to get back to this. You know how many people was working under the Moorish Science Temple of America in the leadership of Lomax Bay in Detroit? People was eating. We don't need to sit at no picnic table. We need to put people to work. We need to give people skills. We need to put people to business. We need to teach people business. We need to teach it in the temple. We need to come as a unified force. Man, these people did it without the internet. They did it without cell phones.
This is what I'm saying, and that's true. But we live in a different time, bro. And this is what I'm saying. Before we even get to the commerce,
well, we already there.
I know what I'm saying is people getting robbed right now.
I have a business. DJ got a business.
Businesses get robbed right now by the same youth.
Oh man, businesses make millions of dollars too.
That's true. What I'm addressing is the fact that if you don't handle the street level, if you don't handle that, bro.
What are you talking about? I mean, street cats.
What I'm saying, listen, if we're not dealing with that level, you understand what I'm saying? Crime slows down commerce, bro. You understand what I'm saying?
Hell no, it don't. It increase it.
Okay,
it's all about how you manipulate.
Well, every time somebody come to your business and they get robbed, we'll see how long you be in business.
I'm gonna tell you what we're doing now.
Bruh, if I got an insurance policy, I'll pay people to come rob my business.
I'm gonna tell you what we're doing, and I'm not gonna allow it. We continue and focus on the problem. I'm telling you, get with me, join the virtual temple, create a temple that could image your ideal of what leadership should be, bring the people together, learn the divine plan of the ages, get your money right, and let's move forward. Period. Other than that, we ain't going nowhere. You're going to have cookouts and people going home.
That's what the problem is. They gonna leave and they not gonna listen to nothing you have to say because they gonna be
look. This what I'm saying. The communions is to build trust between houses.
No trust. We need like-minded.
You don't need trust
to come together and say we tired and we are going to build now.
This is what I'm trying to tell you, man.
Build it. They'll come.
Listen, how do you interface with them people?
Same way the problem.
How do you interface with them? How do you interface with them people?
I'm coming to you to eat, not to think, bro.
Bro, why you think they coming? It's because of the food.
They not coming to
That's because food is common unity between all people.
Bro, let me say this. Bro, when we talking about trying to encourage people to listen to us because we're coming to eat. Let me say this. And then I'm gonna get up out of here. The Prophet Noble Drew Ali did not come with no food. The Prophet Noble Drew Ali came with an ideal. By the will of Allah, he came with an ideal that said, we are not who we think we are, and we're even greater than our imagination could conjure up. If we come together, put our genius mind together, put our resources together, we can topple this almost overnight. He didn't come with the fish fry. He didn't come with the fried chicken. He didn't come with all of the things that we think going to bring our people together. Like-minded people come together with resolute minds and say, you know what? If those want to march, go ahead and march over there. If those want to sing and clap like they in church, go ahead and clap over there. But over here, we building exactly what the prophet built. We ain't caring about the elders talking down to us. We don't care about the young people talking trap music and all of that. All we care about is we moving in the direction of success and nationhood. Period, point blank. Everything outside of that, we don't have enough time in the day to waste upon flipping up some burgers and trying to convince somebody that we need to come together. We already know we need to come together. We see the problem. We know the problem. And the Prophet Noble Drew Ali has the solution. Maybe we don't understand the solution. Get with your brother. I got you. And let's work together and solve the problems. Come on, brother. Say something to close me out, and then I'm going to let my brother. Yeah, I appreciate you, brother. That brother got the patience of a Zen master. But come on, DJ.
Man, in all actuality, in closing, I just want to say that everything has been laid out, and I see the pattern that's been put in place, and I just know that if all of us fall underneath that one umbrella, which is the Moorish Science Tip of America, we can move collectively how we all would like to. You have the course, you have that court system established in order to go pull people out that jurisdiction if they've been captured wrong. So everything that everybody is trying to get, they have just been, it's been broken up into separate sects. If everybody just go home to the temple, and then you can build out from the temple. Instead of trying, because even I'm guilty of it myself, because I didn't find certain things in the temple. I went and I established it myself, and that's how I ended up with doing some of the things I did.
So let me ask you this, DJ. If I hooked you up with my brother in Detroit, would you work with that brother to help build a progressive temple?
Yeah, I'll work with any more, even if we disagree on things. You my brother. I gotta find some way.
The goal is progression. We're not disagreeing on ideology. The goal is progression and success. Business.
Yeah, we can link up, most definitely.
The goal is progression and success. If we don't like how the elders are doing it, then I'm giving people the opportunity to do it better.
Hey,
that's what I'm trying to say.
The rock.
The goal is success. The goal is to make the temple what it was in ancient Kemet. People didn't say the temple was church. People didn't say the temple of Heliopolis was church. They was enthusiastic about going there. We have to make that same temple today. People have to be enthusiastic, man. I'm going to the temple. You know what I mean? I'm going to the temple because I know the temple got a job for me. I'm going to the temple because I know the temple got some wisdom for me. I'm going to the temple because I'm morally bankrupt. I'm going to the temple because my father passed and somebody can give me some encouragement. I'm going to the temple because the temple got the answer. We need to create that environment. Them elders are not going to create the environment. I know y'all gonna get mad at me, elders, but I'm gonna say it like it is. The prophet said you got to sit in the back. You got to go in the back. It is what it is. Now listen, a lot of times we have to know this. An elder told me this, and this was recent, and I can't remember who told me. And maybe Allah took that off my mind so I don't throw him under the bus. But he said something that was very unique and very wise. He said, Moore, you are waiting for these people to do something. Moore, they already gave the best that they are going to give. They are not giving anymore. The best that they have has been given. More is up to you to go do it now. So let's stop waiting on these elders to do something. They have already given the best. Whether it was their research, whether it was them keeping the doors open, whether it was them keeping the traditions alive, they have given their best. Now it's time for us to take the reins and keep it moving and take it to the next level. You know, that's just what it is. Yeah, come on, brother, take us out, brother.
Before Uriel, come on, I just wanted to say, pertaining to the youth real quick, if you are in your 20s or younger, it's really up to you for you to pick up your fez and your turban and for you to keep on living this tradition, because otherwise the elders don't have nobody to pass it on to.
Hold up, DJ, I'm gonna let you finish. Ishmael Bey gonna ask me the calling number. Ishmael Bey, you got my personal number, Ishmael Bey. Man, stop that, man. Man, call my phone, man. Stop playing, man. Go ahead, DJ.
No, I'm just saying, as far as it go, we need to have that connection between the youth and the elders. So if you my age and younger, you know, like in your mid-20s and younger, like you need to get you a fez, you need to get you a turban, you need to get you a flag, you need to live like you are a Moor, like you're a Moorish American. And that because the elders need someone to pass the information on to. But if you out here doing Negro things, they're not gonna give you no keys.
Look, that's a fact. Let me tell you something. I've been underneath, man, listen. I've been underneath some of the sharpest elders you ever want to meet, man. I'm telling you, man, these are some of the elders that I've been underneath. People quote them every day and don't even know it. They quote them every day. When I hear Taj Tariq quote stuff, he don't even know that the research he quoting came from one of my teachers. You know what I'm saying? Hold up. Let me get my brother Ish. Brother Ish. No. Hold up. Let me sit you up here. Brother Ish. Man, let me tell you something. Bro, you got my personal number. You gonna ask me for the calling number. Brother, I'm trying to tell you, you are the smoothest brother in the conscious community. I was looking at your thing and say, brother, what's the calling number? Brother, you got my real number. Most people don't got the real one. What's up, my brother? Talk to me.
I want to let you know, Brother Tariq, and also want to let the Moorish World TV family know that I'm back. I'm back in America. I'm back stateside. And I can't wait till tomorrow night, brother. Tomorrow night, I'm going to be introducing some groundbreaking information. And I really, really think that it's going to be very important it's going to be an exclusive premiere on Moorish World TV. Never seen before. So I think I'm really going to enjoy the findings. The Moorish World research team is back in the United States. And what we have is we have identified and found Morocco in the United States of America. We have the map. We have the photos. We have the information. We have it available. And we'll be premiering it tomorrow on Moorish World TV, brother.
There we go. Let me tell you, this is the Billy D of the conscious community. I will invite anybody who wish to debate my brother Ishmael Bey. Email me at thehuckabay@yahoo.com. I like to see the brother debate because it's never a debate. He's so smooth with it. You be like, man, is he debating or is he just chopping up sushi? You ever see a sous chef? He be so smooth.
He's funny, sorry.
So, brother.
You know what I'm saying? Yeah, anybody can get cooked Benihana alive. You know, they get alive. I put them on the grill.
That's my brother.
Serious, Brother Tariq, I really want to thank you. I want to thank you for setting a really good example. And it really just pushes the science forward. And
yes,
us
sir.
as researchers and us as just brothers and sisters, it inspires us to make sure that we're doing the best that we can in order to serve the people. This information, again, is not something that's been seen before. It's not something that's common knowledge, but it's our job and our duty to push and advance the science. And you set a really high standard, and I salute you for that.
Brother, you know I appreciate you, brother. And I done seen times when you and I, we bump heads, but we never bump heads and became so vicious with each other. And so I want people to know that it's okay to disagree. It's okay to chop it up. But at the end of the day, we brothers and we all in this thing together. Sisters also. So Ish, I'm definitely looking forward to it. Send me all the everything you need. Send me just like you normally do. Send them to the email. We're gonna have a good day tomorrow. I'm looking forward, brother, because it's new to me too. Islam?
Islam. I'm looking forward to it.
And you're really gonna enjoy it. It's something you've never seen before, and I guarantee that you'll be very pleased, brother.
Let's do it. Let's do it. So that's my brother Ishmael Bey. I ain't gonna be all night now and now. Now I'm excited now because listen, now that was an exclusive for me too because he was out of the country and he said when he come back he wanted to do something. I said, brother, the channel is yours whenever you're ready. It don't make no difference to me. And that's the same to you, Uriel. You can inbox me. I don't know, taharkabay@yahoo.com. If you want to present something, come on with it. DJ, you know you welcome, brother. I'm gonna be reaching out to you to get on this panel all the time. You know what I'm saying? At the end of the day, it's gonna take us all. You know what I'm saying? And brother, you're out. Especially that Kush information, brother. Come do a presentation, brother. I seen you had the map up there. You know what I'm saying?
Oh yeah, man. I appreciate the opportunity. I'll put something together for you.
Yeah, and then just let me know, taharkabay@yahoo.com, or hit me on Facebook, taharkabay, and we're going to get something started. Because at the end of the day, it's going to take us all. But now you got to remember now, Moors don't play that foolishness. They be trying to chop your head off, you go wrong. You know how they do. Don't make them chop your head off. So with that, anything you want to say in closing, brother?
I just want to say, I appreciate your hospitality and having me on the show. And I also appreciate the fact that you put yourself out there in terms of, setting the record straight from the Moorish science perspective. I think that's necessary. Some people don't see it that way, but it really is up to us to correct ourselves. When we see others ourselves going astray, especially with information that we represent and whatnot. I want to add on to that too, that we need to maintain a certain level of respect towards each other as men.
Yes, sir.
And I think a lot of times on social media people get carried away, and a lot of times things get misinterpreted as well. And I think having forums like this is really helpful because it allows you to to see a person and get their true expression, necessity or lack thereof, whatever have you, and it's actually leads to a better understanding amongst people. So I applaud you on that as well. And also, just one last thing I want to add on is, in terms of a nationalistic point of view, that a lot of Moors get very, very zealous with information that they have, and there's different degrees in terms of what's correct and what's not. And I just want people to bear in mind to also respect other people and other people's beliefs and other people's nations and national standards, and understand that it's over 200 plus nations just within the United Nations, and that don't even include indigenous nations of the world. So we have to, pay honor, respect for our fellow man as well. And that's all I want to add to it, and I'm gonna give it back to you, bro.
All right, peace, man. And I want to thank my brother Kush that was on here. I hope he wasn't upset because he dropped off, or maybe he had something to do. I want to thank him for coming on the show too, because it takes a lot of guts to come on the show. Because when people see me, they kind of think that I'm trying to be the tough guy. I'm gonna try to overtalk you. I'm gonna try to, and I used to do that, but it was never intentional from a malice place. You know what I'm saying? I never wanted to come off as malicious. So I got to hold myself back sometimes. But I just be so anxious to say something that I cut people off. And people just get mad at that. But I'm telling you, if you want to have a respectable dialogue, you can disagree with me 1,000%. But you're welcome to come on here to have a respectable dialogue. We're not going to get into the cussing. We're not going to get into the name calling. We're not going to get into the what they call them, the cat fights, because that ain't my thing. That ain't my thing. My thing is prove me wrong. If I say Taj doesn't teach Moorish science as taught by Prophet Noble Drew Ali, then you come on here and say, you's a lie, let me show you how. And then you show me. And either I'm going to accept it or I'm going to say, oh no, It's not. And we have a conversation and we get to the meat of the truth. We get to the facts, and that's it, and we move on. If you choose to still go with your jurisprudence, fine. I still go with my Moorish science as the Moorish Science Temple of America, fine. But guess what? We have a balanced portion of information that's out there in the public now. It's not one-sided. And this is where I come to the point where I hold a lot of people in the temple responsible. Taj Tariq have traveled around the country, up, down, and around the country, spreading his understanding of Moorish science. Now everybody cry foul. This didn't happen yesterday. He's been doing this for 20 years or more. And not one person in the temple, not one. And even to this day, I don't see anybody in the temple speaking out against Cannon Bay with these fake tags. I don't see anybody in the temple speaking out as Shalimar Moore with these fake tags. If you want to do something in the temple, create social media committees. Let me tell you who got one. United Airways, seen it on the news. They watch the social media and they find out what their passengers are talking about so they can make them have a better experience so they can get their money right. We are in the business of saving souls. This is our business of saving souls. And when we see somebody misappropriating the product, it's up to you to correct it. Talk about, oh, we're not causing any confusion. But you rather let somebody get shot in their head because they standing on law. See, at some point, the temple is going to be held responsible for a lot of these misappropriations of these truths because they did not stand up and represent what the prophet represented. We can't blame it all on Taj. We can't blame it all on Cannon Bay. We can't blame it all on Marakush. The temple needs to take responsibility and stand up because, and I'm going to tell y'all in the temple this, the Prophet Noble Ali, it was reported that he stood on 33rd and State Street on the south side of Chicago on a milk crate teaching the people. This is how the people was taught Moorish science according to the Prophet Noble Ali in the beginning in Chicago. If ain't nobody in your temple found there, 33rd and State, near that temple, you need to question who they are. If they're not out in the public trying to teach the public, you need to question who they are. If they're not on social media trying to teach the public, you need to question who they are. Those be the same ones that put you back into slavery. And not saying social media is for everybody. Not saying that the block is for everybody. But heck, the purpose of the Moorish Science Temple of America is to uplift fallen humanity. How many years you going to stay inside of the temple? How many years you going to be inside the closed doors? Shout out to my brother Haru Beniciel. Stay out in the public. Shout out to my brother Prathael. Spring Grand Sheik Prathael. Stay out in the public. Tyrone Bay. Stay out in the public. Shout out to my brother Azim Hopkins Bay. Stay out in the public. I see you on the Prophet's birthday celebration. That's right. I'm coming up there to get Mama Love baked pies or something that your mother cooked. I know she's going to be cooking. I'm going to eat. See, and this is Moorish science. When we have cultural gatherings, like we ain't got to have a cookout to bring people in. Moors are already Moors. Look, Moors, we having the Prophet's birthday celebration. Everybody come over, bring a dish. We ain't got to get breadcrumbs to get people into the temple. Where we living in? Like, come on now. We need to build our culture back. You know, we need to create our own holy days, i.e. holidays. We need to do this. Nobody is going to do it for us. Stop waiting on the elders to do it. Join the temple. Become progressive and you do it. If you can't find a temple, the Moorish Science Temple of America virtual temple is open to you. And it's a legally chartered temple. I mean, under the leadership of D. Bailey Hill. Stop playing. We're going to get this work done. DJ, I appreciate you, brother. I'm about to get out of here. I ain't mean to go this long.
I appreciate brother. I appreciate the invite and the platform, and I appreciate the love. Also, what's coming tomorrow, I'm excited for that.
That's
My
right.
man from overseas. I'm ready for that.
We got Ishmael Bay in the building. Ishmael Bay coming back with some information. That's right. I'm gonna be the one you know, remember. Let's see in the chat. Yeah, hey. I'm gonna be that one you gonna remember. That's right. I'll be that one you gonna remember. To all the things my life. Hey, if you a friend of the Lord, then you a friend of mine. I was told about my enemies that hold my life. Those speak against the prophet, they speak against me. And I'm speaking like the prophet over who I live. Who was the first to remind you and bind you back to a rock over mountains, Mississippi and Quebec? Told you it wasn't black, proved you it straight back. You tripping off tracks, you enemy tripping off that. Now here we go again, acting like you a slave. The same people talk European how to bathe and looking at women buying European hair. No love for self, but do the men really care? And now, cause they got a love for Europe. Whole generation take the pill, bleed and serve. Yeah, they love Lil Yachty, Gucci, Gucci, Kodak, Amigo, Boss, Boosie. But when I love for the woman, look like your mother. I guess they say it's all black, but it's under the cover. Outside, I be that one you gon' remember. I'ma be that one you gon' remember. That's right. I be that one you gon' remember. So I'm gonna lay front line till the Lord call my number. I be that one you gon' remember. What's up, baby? I'ma be that one you gon' remember. That's right. I be that one you gon' remember. Everybody thumbs up before the haters come and thumb down. Thumbs up, family. Thumbs up. Like it and share it. We're going to teach this raw Moorish science as taught by the Prophet Noble Drew Ali. Let's go. This arrow for the workers. You ain't building on the ground, then you working in the circle. You look and sound good, but that's only on the surface. Probably working for the people. And tell me what's your purpose. Ain't worried about your homie, but know that I know. Hey, the rapper says he ain't my bro. Yeah, you know I ain't slow. I seen it all before. I ain't trying to get a copy. So I'm fed up. Just somebody right now. Don't say that I'm not down. I'm coming. Ishmael Bay on tomorrow night with some cutting edge research. Just came back into the country. He gonna bring some Moorish research to the people tomorrow. Oh my God, let's get it. Allahu Akbar. I want my town, my shirt, my stores, my school, my nation, sick and tired of the class. Hey, it's the thing. Y'all keep hating when love is the savior. You know, like a shotgun.